It's XL Primetime, featuring Joe C.,
Son of a gun.
Matt Hayes,
His balls are different in person.
Mia O'Brien,
I don't know what they're doing.
and Leon Searcy.
Bringing you love, peace, and soul.
Welcome in. XL Primetime. Beaver Chevy, Beaver Toyota Tuesday. I'm going to steal Matt's line there and react to it and go, suddenly his balls aren't different in person. So we will probably get into that a little bit today as well. Welcome to a Tuesday. We're counting down to Christmas, okay? By this time next week, you know what's happening? You know what's happening? You're looking at returning stuff, okay? You're either getting on Amazon or you're heading back to it was so funny. TLD and I were shopping somewhere, and we're in this long line. And then we looked at the lady behind the register, and we said, we'll see you next Tuesday, because everyone will basically unwrap everything and then just take it back.
Here I was thinking that what you were alluding to next Tuesday is us filling in for the Frangie show from 3 to 6 p.m.
Yeah.
That is a programming alert for you next week.
Yeah.
But, hey, that'll give us more time in the morning to get those returns done first.
And I'm not like a big return guy. If I like it, obviously. But TLD, she's always like, here's the receipt. She just expects you to return it because that's what she does.
Yeah, I've done no shopping.
You've done none?
None?
Okay.
I
have
went this
done a little
morning
bit.
and got a little more done.
Really? I
Yeah.
plan on doing it. Listen, all my kids are grown. They're going to get a gift card from Daddy.
Right.
All right, and that's it.
A lot of thought.
Which
Yeah,
is
a lot.
Well, there'll be
Hey,
a little dough in that gift card, won't there?
Yeah, I'll put some money on it.
Will you
yeah.
get a card? Will you write
At
a
least
card?
I'll write a
25.
card.
Okay, so there'll be
Yeah.
a card.
Yeah, I'll send them $100.
If it makes you
maybe
feel better,
200.
Leon, the pilgrimage I made this morning was for a gift card for my mom, who I pray isn't listening right now. But it's a fancy gift card through one of our clients here at 1010XL, one of our good partners. I think you can kind of put two and two together because if you listen to our advertisements, you may have heard me talking about this gift certificate you can get from a certain spa out at the beach. So to your
So
point.
she'll use it when she comes in is what
Yep,
you're saying.
yeah, that's
I
the
thought you were
plan.
going to say duck, duck.
No, that would be great too. But it was funny. They did ask.
Uncle
they're like,
Fred caused a problem.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, no, it's Uncle Earl. It's Cousin Fred.
Sorry.
But no, so to your point, I got her the gift card, but they they did it up all fancy. They put it in a fancy little
Yeah.
gift bag. So I feel like,
Well-
it's
Well, I mean-
it's something you can present. So as long as you put it in the card or you dress it up.
You're so nervous about your mom. It's
Gift
not
card.
even
It is,
funny.
and I can tell
so
you.
nervous.
Absolutely. But see, I know the personalities of my kids. If I put some effort into it,
Right.
my oldest daughter, Malika, she likes books. She's a writer. I can send her a nice book. My middle child, Kenya, she's a bit of a
Now,
diva.
would you send her your own book?
Well, she's already read it. Trust me. That was the most nervous part about me writing my book is my kids reading my book and hearing some of the
Dad.
stories. And Malika, my oldest, calls me and she says, "Daddy, really?" And you get Daddy, really, though. You
That's
feel
it.
so bad. You feel so bad.
But so you're telling us you could.
I could, yeah. My Kenya's a diva, so I'll probably send her some jewelry. And then my son has it all. He makes more money than I do, so he's a stunner. So I don't know what to get him. I don't know what to get him.
Well, it is funny because you do reach a certain point where you look at, and I always talk about TLD and like, there's nothing I can give you that you don't already have or need, and there's nothing she can get me, that I don't already have. We're lucky. We're lucky that way.
True.
So we can definitely take care of the others. That's for sure. Giving is a good thing. That's for sure when you think about it during the holiday season. All right.
Well, I'll ask you guys this one more on the gift front. So I am going to be making the pilgrimage back up to the Northeast this weekend, and so last year my cousins started this new gift game. So you have to get 3 gifts, so the same thing, under $10 each, and then it's like a gift swap. We sit in a circle and we spin, we roll the dice or something, and then you get to pick someone else, or you spin the bottle, and then you have to take something from their pile, and then they take something from someone else's pile. So I need 3 things that are under $10. Last year we had things like Vicks Vape Rub. Shout out to my sister for that one. We had
Who can't use that?
No, we had notebooks. We had phone chargers. So
Listen.
I'm curious.
Pack of cigarettes.
Listen, you go to the dollar store. You
A
can
$10
You get
scratch-off.
about 10 things. You go to the dollar store.
and
for
get
10
so you say go to dollar
Go
store.
to the dollar
Good
store.
math.
Yeah, there you go.
Bo
By the way,
Valentine is thinking either scratch off tickets or Dunkin' gift cards.
But in this inflation world that we're in, there's nothing left on the dollar menu.
Dude, the dollar
okay?
store is now $1.25.
exactly.
I said y'all need to change to the $1.25 store.
Yeah, 'cause
It's not the dollar
they
store
ain't a
anymore.
dollar anymore.
No,
That's
it's
for
not.
sure.
You know, we were talking about we have a surprise for tomorrow, talking about signing day, and a certain host, I don't want to give it away, on this show has signing day experience from 1987. And we looked up the gas price.
Yeah.
Dude, average across the nation, February 1987, signing day, 90 cents.
That's crazy.
90 cents?
Think about
90
that.
cents.
Think about that.
And
My
honestly,
signing day 36 years ago, gas was 90 cents. And you know what? We were probably complaining about 90 cents.
oh yeah, it was sky high at that point.
90 cents? Are you serious?
Yeah, it was
Wow.
sky high. All right, so yeah, you start looking at some of those prices, it might make you throw up. But we'll do that. We'll have some fun because signing day is tomorrow. So we're going to get into that a little bit today because there's, we used to always look forward to the reversal or the commitment reversal where they would decommit. But now it's all portal all the time.
Flipping, Joe. It's called flipping.
Yeah, flipping, decommitments, all of
There's
that
a
stuff.
big one out there, too.
Oh, yeah. So we'll
We
talk
might still
about
have
that.
the hat game. I love the hat game. Taylor Doll and I were preparing all of our graphics and videos for tomorrow, and she's like, all right, so, like, are these guys firm commitments? And I was like, well, the beautiful thing in this DocuSign world, most of the guys who are firm commitments will wake up tomorrow and they'll sign it automatically. And so the school will pump out the graphic before 9 a.m. It's some of
but
these other
they-
cats that, maybe get
I
swayed.
like the
and-
facts, some of them. Also, by the way, if something happens, which could happen, I'm not sure Frangie, Caroline, Hicken, and Hacker are going to be able to.
They're not going to be able to come in the next day.
I think they might just be done.
Yeah,
Seriously.
yeah.
That might tip the scale
Is-
towards.
So
it's
you're
gotta
saying it
happen.
went from a top 3 to a top 30
Well,
class? Is that what you're
they're
saying?
already number 10 right now.
Yeah.
And if they lose the guy who has moved all the way up to number 4 overall in the rankings, the
Mm-hmm.
quarterback, DJ Lagway,
Yeah.
who apparently is being pursued heavily by Texas A&M right now, and the bag.
Well,
Imagine what happens then if that happens.
A&M, I guess they have the blueprint when it comes to paying players, but they also see them show up and then they see them leave shortly after that. So I don't know where the best place would be. You are correct though. Billy Napier right now
Ooh.
is leaking oil. That's
Quickly.
for sure. He is
Quickly.
leaking oil. All right, so let's go back to last night first. All right, I want to set this up, and we'll make it our X poll today. But you came out of last night with Jalen Hurts and the Philadelphia Eagles, a Super Bowl appearing football team a season ago that at one point had a 10-1 record. They are now 10-4. They are on a 3-game slide. And a lot of it was because of Jalen Hurts being sick and all this stuff that went into this game. But there's no question they ain't the same. Take a look at offensively what they're producing points-wise. And so I thought we'd get into how bad is it up there versus how bad is it here. Because in Duval, we do think the sky's falling just a little bit. You don't know about the health of your quarterback going into Tampa. That's a big, big, big concern. And Jalen Hurts, after that big contract, is not playing as well as you would like if you're the Philadelphia Eagles.
What perfect timing, Joe. I know there were plenty of Jags fans panicking yesterday that we got Trevor Lawrence tweeting out Bible verses.
Yeah.
Well, up in Philly, they have A.J. Brown going after fans and journalists on X.
They're the same, right? Fans and journalists.
He just quote tweeted somebody who had posted a play that obviously didn't pan out for the Eagles. I believe it's the interception. And A.J. Brown says, y'all fans swear y'all know everything. It's a shot play to me. I'm the first read. He just missed the throw. Of course, we could have threw it 6 because it didn't work, but when the ish works, everyone is happy. Quit all that buddy ball ish. I am decoys on many plays.
Yeah.
And all that he forcing me the ball to, I'm in his head. When I make plays, everyone's happy, but when it's incomplete, it's I'm making him throw me the ball. I get blamed for more crap than anything. Tired of y'all playing with my character.
AJ in a pout.
It's emotional, isn't it?
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
just a game that make you very emotional.
Yeah.
Listen, the Philadelphia Eagle team is quite different than this year than they were last year. Last year, they were the boogeyman. They were the team that no one wanted to play. They were clicking on all cylinders, run game. Jalen Hurts was more efficient, pass, deep ball, defense was solid. They were the boogeyman. They're sleepwalking right now. They are sleepwalking these last 3 games. They've been exposed a little bit. Now, the difference between them and us is that, they're turning the ball over. We're turning the ball over. But they can run. They can run the ball. They're more consistent with the run game. But the turnovers was the key to last night, in my opinion.
And by the way, A.J. Brown and Devonta Smith, along with Dallas Goedert, dangerous, okay?
Oh,
That
yeah.
is a good receiving core. Lane Johnson gets hurt last night, so their offensive line is definitely a little more suspect than it has been in years past. And obviously the defense had 70 sacks last year, okay? There were 4 guys, I think 4, that had double-digit sacks. Anyway, they're nowhere near that now.
Well, so here's some stats from the Eagles camp. They're dead last in sacks on third down. You saw that pop up on the broadcast last night. They also are dead last in third down defense. Those are two areas that were the reason they were the boogeyman last year.
Absolutely.
Those are two areas that this franchise has struggled in, and that's why it's been so up and down over the last 2 years of the Doug Peterson era. For them, that's why it feels like the sky is falling, because they went from first to worst in less than a season. And so that's where a lot of the blame is now falling onto the coordinators. There's plenty of, from what I saw with Philly Sports Radio's various media and personalities this morning on X, but also on the air, because I was listening, there's plenty of folks that's similar to here believe the buck stops with the head coach, and so Nick Sirianni should be to blame.
Sure.
Should Doug Peterson be more criticized here? But what's fascinating for me, Leon, and it's ironic given Doug's history with Philly, the decision to announce, if only through Ian Rappaport, a mouthpiece, before week 1, that Press Taylor would be the offensive coordinator and be the primary play caller this year. This week in Philly, you had the leaked announcement that Sean Desai, the defensive coordinator, was getting bumped up to the booth, and Matt Patricia would be calling the plays as an assistant last night. And Nick Sirianni was asked about it last night, and he felt that transparency was important.
Okay, well, that's interesting. That's absolutely interesting. I mean, the whole thing, well, listen, Press Taylor, that's been the issue here. Some of the play calling in Jacksonville, which amounts to our lack of success in some occasions, especially, it's going to be amplified when you're on a 3-game loser streak. Absolutely. I mean, but Doug last year during this time, Doug was making all the calls, wasn't he? He was the play caller.
Second half.
Second half, he would call the plays, but Doug would have to,
Yeah.
sign off on them, and Doug was the primary developing the offensive game
And if
plan.
you watch him on the sidelines, it still looks like he is heavily involved.
Oh, yeah.
But let's go back to moments right before the half. You had a chance to win a football game. You had a chance to go into the locker room with momentum on your side, and they totally blew it. And you could put QB, OC, and HC, all of them on that watch, okay? They were all responsible for what went down after a big play to Zay inside the 5-yard.
But see, here's the thing, though. I blame Trevor. I'm telling you the reason why I blame Trevor, because he knows better.
Yeah, I mean,
that's like calling an audible. When you call a play and then you call an audible on the line of scrimmage because you see something different.
Yeah.
Trevor has been doing this since high school, college, professionally. He should have known. I mean, I don't care what was buzzing in his ear. Right. You know the time is leaking down. You know that if you spike the ball, we got 13 seconds left or 12 seconds left in the game. You talking about being aggressive? That's being aggressive because now you got 2 shots at the end zone.
And he looked just a little lost after the throw to Parker Washington, and they did not get out of bounds. He really froze at that moment. Now, obviously, you could have had 2 plays if you had spiked the ball. They got in the shotgun. They got the shotgun as soon as they ran down there. Yeah. Okay, that was nuts as well.
Here's some other quotes from Jalen Hurts after last night's last-second loss to the Seattle Seahawks on Monday Night Football. I've been talking about execution all year, being on the same page, everyone being on the same page. We didn't execute. I don't think we all were committed enough. We have to turn it around. It's a challenge we have to embrace and continue to see it through. He was then asked about what he means by being committed enough, and he goes, commitment. I don't know how else to say that.
Okay, so Leon,
how about being committed because you're sick as a dog going out there playing? That's what he means. If I'm committing, if I'm invested, I'm sick as a dog for the last 4 days. I've lost 8 pounds.
Yeah, I flew out separately to make sure.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm here playing.
Yeah.
How badly do you guys want it? It sounds like another team I'm thinking of when you start talking about how badly do you want it.
Right. So he's calling his teammates out.
Yeah, he's looking at his supporting cast like, listen, if I can come and play sick as a dog on a Monday night when I'm not feeling well, I expect more from you. You got to help me out somehow.
How is that? Is that not similar to Trevor Lawrence rehabbing 16 hours, 18 hours a day to get ready on the ankle sprain last week?
Okay, now let's remember this now. And we have to keep reminding ourselves of our timeline. Trevor said after the loss up in Cleveland, it's December. We have been doing this for a while. And so he did call some of his guys out. Well, lo and behold, Trevor is, if you're putting a top 3 list of who to blame for this last loss, he's probably in everyone's top 3. Would you agree with that?
Absolutely.
100%.
And so here he is a week after blowing it up in Cleveland, and nothing really changed. This is still we saw some energy and intensity from the run game and the game plan early in the game, but then it just waned and went away. So I wonder, like, do teammates, whenever they hear that, some obviously can say, is he talking about me? What the H, bro? I can see that. But do most of them basically take what the quarterback says and, hey, we need to man up?
Well, yeah, I mean, because he's a centerpiece. He's a centerpiece of the team, the offense, all that. So if the quarterback who's been playing with a bum ankle for the last couple of weeks, still can't make an excuse for, because if you step out on that field, we expect perfection.
Right.
So injury, barring the injury, whatever. But if he's calling guys out, yeah, absolutely. You don't want to be called out by your quarterback, especially if you know that he's playing. He's toughening it out. If he can go out there, and don't get me wrong, everybody this late in the season is dealing with some kind of ailment, injury, or whatever. So everybody's toughing it out. But, if your quarterback who is the centerpiece, if he say, hey, man, listen, I'm dealing with something real right now, and you can't. I need your support to help me. You know what can help him? A run game. That can help him. Absolutely help him. And that's an indictment on the offensive line, because you got a bum quarterback. And if he's having to drop back all those times, 47, 50 times a game, what are you doing? But it's the run game and your commitment to the run game. You come out the Ravens game, first 4 plays, bang, 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 bang. Then all of a sudden you get cute. Start throwing passes, start doing this, and then all of a sudden you forget about it. Now you got all the stress and pressure on your quarterback to make plays when he shouldn't have to.
Yeah, and I do wonder play calling from that part of it. Are the play calls directed to the passing game because they know they can't run, or are they just stubborn trying to make up for it with big pass plays? All right, Beaver Chevy, Beaver Toyota, they bring you today's show. Would love for you to drop on by. They are there to wow you, and that's from the sale all the way to the service agreement, all the way to your next purchase. So make sure you check them out. BeaverChevrolet.com, always involved in the community. You'll find them right there on Phillips Highway, and Beaver Toyota St. Augustine on US 1 in the AUG. Now let's set up our X poll. Which fan base feels worse, or
yeah, I have it out.
Okay.
After 3 straight losses, who is in a worse place?
Yeah.
Jags or the Eagles? Question of the day brought to you, as always, by Beaver Toyota of St. Augustine. Jags leading big time right now. Obviously, we have a lot more Jags fans than Eagles around here. 86% say the Jags are in a worse off place than the Philadelphia Eagles.
So throw a reply on there if you guys are voting, just so we can get an idea of what you're thinking. You can hit the text line and give us that as well. You can go to YouTube, find us on the stream at 1010XL, and you can offer up a comment there. Easy to do.
This is the Yahoo pop-off chat line. Yahoo!
So let's take the question real quick, okay? And you phrased it again, which is – give it to me again,
Who's
JJ?
worse off?
Yeah, worse off. So
who's in a worse place?
Like, in other words, can this team come out of the ashes and win the division and get right, or can that team? What do you think?
Well, I think we're in a worse position, to be quite honest with you. I mean, the Eagles can still run the ball, and their receiving core is still intact. Yeah, they had a sick Jalen Hurts, and he was inefficient. He had turnovers in the game, so I think we're worse off right now. We got issues with offensive line running the ball, the commitment to running the ball. We got Christian Kirk out. We got Zay Jones out with a hamstring. I mean,
and those injuries are real.
Those are real. I mean, so in my opinion, I think we're worse off.
Worse off, Matt?
Yeah. I mean, also the Eagles, by the way, have a pretty good defense. Yeah. They can get to the quarterback.
No, look at what they're dealing with defensively.
I know
They've given up a ton.
I get that.
They're really bad.
Yeah, Mia just gave the stat.
I get that.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, when a game they have to win, that game, do you think that's a game they have to win? Yeah, clearly they do, okay?
But take a look at the points.
But my point is, you start talking about playoff games, that defense will play different in the playoffs.
They also have 3 get-right games leading up to the playoffs.
Giants, Cardinals, Giants.
Well, frankly, so are the Jags.
Yeah.
If you're really going to look at it
First
that
of all,
way.
this
Tampa,
week is going to
Tennessee.
be really tough.
Yeah.
Like, Tampa's playing for a playoff spot.
Tougher than I thought. Yeah.
Carolina has nothing to – they're
lose.
not tanking. They don't have their pick. I'm not saying they'll win. I'm just saying they're not going to be,
An easy
losing
out.
on purpose.
Well, the fact
and
that
then the Titans are the Titans.
If this team doesn't end up with 10 wins, it's a massive
I agree
massive.
The
fail.
reason that the Jags are in a worse position is that the Eagles have already qualified for the playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
Therein lies the bottom line. As
Boom.
bad as they're quote unquote playing, and I'm scrolling through some of these tweets right now from our friends at 94 WIP. I mean, yes, like they're eerily similar tweets to what I saw on the timeline yesterday here in Duval. But the reality is they already are in the dance. The Jags still have to clinch their opportunity to go back to the playoffs and go back-to-back for the first time since the 90s.
Yeah, and
There's
misery.
a lot of green left in that putt, by the way.
Oh, yeah,
That
you
Jags
better
putt.
believe it. And there's misery loves company label going on right here because Philly, even though they are on a 3-game losing streak and they're questioning everything, they just watched Dallas get their butts kicked by the Bills. And so at the very least, they're like, Okay, all right, we're dealing with it, but that team just got walloped as well. And so they can keep themselves in that conversation. Now, they're both playing for the NFC East because now there's a tie at the top because they split those two games. And so they're fighting for it, but it's true. They've got the clinched playoff spot next to their name.
Well, listen, they got more mulligans than we have. They have 3 mulligans next week. We've got maybe 1.
Look, the way this team handled Tennessee, it seems like eons ago. It wasn't that long ago. They handled him in November and really made Levis look lost. But he certainly had a hell of a game against Miami a couple of Sundays ago. Did not have a particularly great game this past week. They struggled to score points. They finished with, 16? And so it can happen, obviously. But there's that classic rivalry. There's nothing like knocking your rival out of the postseason if you can, and we'll see where it goes. All right, so you guys let us know, 641-1010. Jump in on that subject. We got so many other things that we'll look at as far as what is the biggest problem with this football team and where is the easiest fix. You start looking at yards per play. You start looking at third down. You start looking at what they haven't done defensively. They're in a bad spot right now in terms of getting other teams off the field. So let's get into all that as we go along today. It's XL Primetime on a beautiful Tuesday. Cooler weather today. Kind of gets you in the mood for Christmas.
Buckle up. You're in the First Coast Honda Dealers Studios with XL Primetime on 1010XL. Find your new Honda at your 8 local Honda dealers.
Joe C. for Preferred Roofing, Preferred Builders, great people. And if you're thinking about that project, let's just say you're going into 2024. You say, you know what, I want to do something. I want to remodel the house. Because, look, real estate prices, interest rates, all those things are at risk. You don't really know what's going to happen. So if you're thinking about maybe a remodel addition, certainly looking at a brand new home, they can handle all of it. PreferredBuildersJacks.com. Start with a local company, tried and true. And don't forget about the roofing department. If you're looking at a roof replacement or repair, go with them. PreferredRoofingJacks.com.
Game day prep starts 5 hours before kickoff. We'll fill you in with Hayes Carline and Mia O'Brien, the famous automotive tire and quick lube kickoff show. Presented by Gatorade Fast Twitch and Clearwater Irrigation on 1010XL.
Let's fire up the flavor and ignite those appetites. Let's slow down and smell the barbecue. Because all your favorites are smoked for hours and ready for eating when you are. From our famous ribs to slow smoked pork. Enjoy some perfection by the plateful, safely in our dining room or in the comfort of your home. With curbside pickup, drive-through, and delivery. Sonny's Barbecue, local pitmasters since '68.
Here's Linda Beaver.
Have you heard? Beaver Toyota and Beaver Chevrolet are attempting to sell 2,000 vehicles this December. How? I've instructed my team to take all reasonable offers. We won't lose your business over price. We have thousands of cars, trucks, and SUVs on the ground and priced to sell. We guarantee the most money for your trade and the easiest car buying experience ever. I promise we ain't leaving nothing on the table. At Beaver Toyota in St. Augustine or Beaver Chevrolet in Jacksonville. We're here to wow you.
Come to Monahan Jewelers' 46th annual holiday sale now with up to 30% off on GIA certified diamonds and up to 40% off our entire store. Certified diamonds, gemstones, engagement rings, diamond studs, designer brands. We're not a big box store. We're your local family jeweler with an amazing hand-picked inventory for every budget. And with interest-free financing, enjoy beautiful jewelry with a low monthly payment. Support your local family jeweler this Christmas with up to 40% off our entire inventory. Monahan Jewelers in Atlantic Beach. Open 7 days a week in December.
Your AC's broke, it ain't no joke. Call Florida Home AC. Florida Home AC. Florida Home AC. Florida Home AC. FloridaHomeAC.com.
This is Frank Frangie. Join Dan Hickett and me for All Things Gators, our podcast presented by Southeast Orthopedic Specialists with new episodes every Monday. Subscribe and listen by searching for 1010XL Florida Gators Podcast on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher, or TuneIn.
Hey everybody, Mike Dempsey here for Awaken 180 Weight Loss. You know, since I dropped my pounds with Awaken 180 back in September, I've had a lot of comments about how I looked. In fact, somebody just the other day said, hey, you look like you lost your spare tire. Honestly, they're not that far off. Picture this, a bulky, awkward car tire, 26 pounds or so. That's exactly what I was lugging around before Awaken 180. Did it take me 3 months, 6 months? Nah, 26 pounds gone in just over 1 month. Imagine slicing through air, feeling light like a sports car, not a clunky sedan with extra baggage. Imagine where you would be by the end of January if you started Awaken 180 today. Maybe down 20, 30 pounds. Why not just do it? The program is simple. The coaching is awesome. The results are even better. No meds, no starvation, no gym. And unlike the meds, you'll have a plan to keep the weight off when you're done. Free support for life, folks, so why wait? Give Awaken 180 a shout at 844-346-1800. That's 844-346-1800 or online at awaken180weightloss.com and ditch that spare tire.
I'm with Greg from Cycles of Jacksonville, and you're letting out a little bit of a secret. Am I right in hearing that Triumph is creating a dirt bike?
They are. They've been at it for 5 years, and they've been at it with the best. Ricky Carmichael has designed this dirt bike from the ground up, and it's going to be a winner.
And so they're going to be coming out with brand new models to open up next year.
They are. We will have them on the showroom very, very soon.
Triumph in the dirt bike business. You can find all the info at cyclesofjacksonville.com and in the showroom.
Certainly facing challenging economic times. I can't speak for all of us, but for me, comforting to know my money is in good hands with ITP Partners. Ticket here for ITP Partners. Jacksonville guys taking care of my Jacksonville money. I'll admit it, I don't understand a ton about the economy. Higher interest rates, 401ks, but I do know as I move closer to retirement, I continue to watch my money grow. Thanks to Chris Bryan, Jeff Hartman, Reagan Wright, Dan Abel, and Reed Wingate. Get in the game, guys. ITP Partners, always there to help. For more info, Chris at ITPPartners.com or call 904-312-9751.
I introduce you here to our pest solution here on the drill. It's Mission Pest Solutions, veteran and locally owned and operated. So easy to deal with. 904-944-PEST. How much can you count on them? Because you're listening to 1010XL and we're in this together. Tell them you're from 1010XL when you call 944-PEST. You'll get a free initial pest service worth $250. Good from now through the end of the year. 944-PEST. Tell them you're calling from 1010XL.
This is Mike Lynch, PGA Golf Professional. Take it from me. If you're dealing with an orthopedic issue, talk to the doctors at Southeast Orthopedic Specialists, where you're treated like a pro.
This is Dr. Kevin Murphy with Southeast Orthopedic Specialists, where athletes are treated like pros. Thanks to all of you who have allowed us to be part of your recovery. Call us at Southeast Orthopedic Specialists if you ever have a need.
Relieve pain and get back to life. SOS. Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
Over 10,000 Christmas lights is sure to bring a smile to a child's face. And that's what American Electrical does every year at the Ronald McDonald House. In fact, it's one of their favorite charitable projects every year. And when they turn the lights on for the first time, that's when you get the biggest smile. American Electrical, community-minded all year long and ready to take care of all of your electrical needs. Log on american-electrical.com and drop by to see the beautiful light display at the Ronald McDonald House. It's right in front of Nemours.
This is Dr. Kevin Kaplan, head team physician for your Jacksonville Jaguars. Here's the latest update on the Jags, brought to you by Baptist Health and JOI.
Jaguars safety Rayshon Jenkins had a big game on Sunday Night Football with a sack and an interception against the Ravens. But Jenkins spoke out in the post-game locker room about the issues for the Jaguars.
It's frustrating at this point because we can physically we match up with anybody. Mentally, man, it's too many mental errors and too many mental mistakes. We beat ourselves every game. I mean, it's just plain and simple. We literally beat ourselves, whether it's penalties, whether it's missed assignments, stuff like that. We just got to get it fixed, and it's easy stuff. I mean, you got to just know your stuff.
Jaguars safety Rayshon Jenkins in the locker room. I'm Andrew Gibson with your Jacksonville Orthopedic Institute Jaguars update.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. Grilling up lunch with Leon and the Sausage Dudes. Sausage with a purpose on 1010XL.
Right on the heels of JJ posting our X poll for today, I see this tweet from NBC Sports Philly. Here's your headline. If you can't stop a backup quarterback from leading a 92-yard game-winning touchdown drive with under 2 minutes left, who exactly can you stop? The answer for the Eagles lately is nobody. Many could argue that the same exact scenario has applied to Jacksonville over the last 3 weeks, or at least 2 of the last 3 weeks. And thus our X poll, after 3 straight losses, who is in a worse place? With that question of the day, of course, brought to you by Beaver Toyota. Jags or the Eagles, the Jags leading. And, of course, we are in Duval County. We're not in Philadelphia. I'm sure they would have a different sentiment with 118 votes already cast, 87% to 12.
Matt, as the Big J journalist here, is that worded correctly?
Yeah.
After 3 straight losses, who is in a worse place?
Well,
I like
or
straight,
is it worse?
Straight isn't really the word either. It's consecutive, so it's.
Oh my
you
God!
fancy-
And you could
so
say
you can't even get to the second part of the
sentence. You could just say who's worse off.
But is this still grammatically correct? Worst or worse place?
Worse.
Okay, good, nice.
All right,
UNF. Yes.
And you could interpret it any way you want, like which fan base feels worse, because like we laid it out, Jacksonville did make it to the postseason, won a playoff game last year, but Philly went to the Super Bowl. Okay, went to the Super Bowl and was ready to close out Dallas and the rest of the NFC, and really with a chance. Remember, San Francisco had a 3-game losing streak, had a chance to grab that number 1 seed again.
Yeah.
So. You could argue that fan base feels worse.
Here's a line of JJ. Who sucks more? How about that?
Yeah, I didn't want to be crass.
That's a good one. That would be a better poll. I like
that. That's dramatic and grammatic.
I like that a lot. Well, hey, we will keep you posted when it comes to that X poll and who's leading, although I think we kind of have an idea what you Nooners are thinking.
Yeah.
You also can get in on the conversation at 641-1010. That is the text line designed by Lifetime Enclosures. But let's flip it over to the college ranks. I obviously want to get to the news of yesterday. Our good friend Carson Beck, the Mandarin grad, announced he heads back to Georgia. And obviously we know Georgia will be very active in the transfer portal. But we need to get to some of the cryptic messages that I am seeing on social media from the DJ Lagway camp, as well as, and Matt, maybe you can clarify this one for me, Mike Elko, now the head coach of Texas A&M, just tweeted out a GIF of Johnny Manziel with the gig'em, thumbs up, and a lock. Is there another commit that is not the quarterback that he just flipped or just got a commitment from?
There could be. There could be, but clearly what's going on right now is Texas A&M's coming hard after DJ Lagway, which would be a just monumental punch to the gut.
Are they using Johnny Football to help recruit him?
I don't know.
I did it. I got it illegally, and you can get it legally.
I just know this. There's a lot of negativity going on as far as negatively recruiting against Florida for all these schools because they're all saying he's going to be fired a year. Mm-hmm. Why are you going to go there?
Right.
And part of that, honestly, is his own fault because they've been so bad.
Right.
11-14 overall, 7-14 against Power 5. But also, where has Scott Strickland been in all this? Mm-hmm. Why has Scott Strickland said, this is my coach? This is my coach, period. End of discussion. Then you at least have a little security of, okay, this is the guy.
Okay, maybe. I'm looking at Leon, as we said earlier.
Look, because at the end of the day, if he fails again, Strickland's going too. So it doesn't matter.
I totally get it. But I'm looking at Leon and simply saying 17, 18, 19-year-old recruit could give a rat what the AD's saying. Their only litmus test, at least as far as I'm concerned, is how much am I getting and do I have faith in that coach to help me win?
Nah, because they're all getting the same amount.
No, that's why I said it's the combination. I'm just simply saying a recruit could care less what an AD has to say. That's just me. Okay, that's my opinion. Because they're looking at, do I think I can win with that coach?
Yeah, listen, I didn't know who Sam Jankovic was until my sophomore year. I had no idea
he was the AD.
I had no idea who he was. Jimmy was the selling point.
No, I get that. But if he comes out there and says publicly, again, we are in a social media age now.
Yeah.
So
that's what I'm saying.
If he comes out there and publicly says that, so any coach who's saying, look, you don't know how long that guy's going to be there. Right. And Billy Napier's response could be, look what my AD just said.
Right. But I guess what at least what I think a recruit is thinking right now, and let's just use DJ Lagway. I don't think he cares what Strickland says. He has to believe in Billy. Now, he may not believe in Billy anymore because of the exodus of the other recruits. That I totally get because he is pinning his hopes right now. His success collegiately is pinned on Billy Napier as the head coach. He could care less what vote of confidence is given to him.
Yeah. I mean, true. But also at the end of the day, I see this more as a Napier thing because Napier has no response right now.
Yeah, true.
When other coaches negatively recruit against him and say he's out after next year,
right.
He has no response to it. He can just say, we're building, we're going to get this thing turned around. if he's got a public declaration from his AD or from the president stating he's good here, we are riding with this guy, he's our ride or die, right? That's different. Then Billy can say, look, I mean, I don't know what these guys are telling you, but it's not right. Here's where we are.
I think he could get that from the AD because, like you said, if one goes, they both go. I'm not so sure he could get that from that president right now. And I think that's where, it'll
right, because the president was not there when all this was.
It's not his guy. He didn't hire either of them.
Right.
But on the Lagway part of this, I sent it to you guys pre-show. I saw DJ Lagway's dad. Obviously a man of faith, so we're not judging people who are men of faith, but he tweeted out, pray on it, pray over it, pray through it. And plenty of Gator fans responding with, like, you're raising a fine young man. We can't wait for him in the swamp. And then, of course, there's a couple that said, God said Aggie.
Well, I mean, this is anti-Billy, regiment because of the poor play over the last 2 years.
Mm-hmm.
But what could Billy be saying on the recruiting trail to kind of – because, listen, I when I coached at FIU, we were terrible. We were absolutely terrible, all right? So I had to go sell. What I was selling was, the same thing probably Billy is trying to do. Hey, we're getting better.
Right.
We need you.
Or he could be like, you can see how terrible that is. We need you here.
That part,
like,
too.
You got to be able to help.
I use that sentiment as well. I mean, because all
You're
the 4
basically.
seasons I was at FIU, I mean, the most games we won was 5 games. The best season was 5-7. So I'm looking at Billy. He just finished 5-7. I mean, that he's still got to be on that recruiting trail.
That does paint a picture of how good Billy
that
was.
FIU team could have smashed.
We would have smashed Georgia. Yeah, exactly. And listen, we went at halftime against Alabama when we went down by 7. Okay, all right, that was our greatest amount.
That's a win.
That's a win. I was in there. My halftime speech was monumental. Now they beat us. They put 30 more points on us afterwards, but that half, boy, we were in it.
But I totally get it. Right now, Gator fan is reeling because they thought they were – this is what happens now during the off season.
Mm-hmm.
You can go out. You can use that NIL money. You can use your sales pitch and basically look at the DJ Lagways of the world and say, you are the solution to our problem. You are the answer. You come to Gainesville, you're going to be a star, and you're going to get us back on the football map. I totally get all that. But then the actual season takes place. And that's what I've told you guys all along. The product is the product. And if you don't like what you see, you're going to start to think you don't want to be a part of it. And that 12-game product is not good enough to excite players to want to come play. At least not right now.
Here's an interesting thing that I remember. I was in the league when Butch Davis took over at Miami, and Miami was going through a probational time.
Yeah.
Miami had slipped off the map. And I remember what Butch did as far as recruiting. He had to go find guys who wanted to be Hurricanes.
Right.
Yeah.
He had to. They had to be committed to being Hurricanes, and that's how he built the product back up. Listen, that 2001 team, that 2002 team, that's Butch. Okay, I know Larry Coker got all.
That's all Butch.
But that's Butch. But I mean, Florida's not in that same sentiment. But you got to find Gators.
Mm-hmm. That's true.
Not 5-star, 4-star guy. I mean, they're good, absolutely, they're good. But you got to find Gators.
Here's the problem:
that want to be Gators.
Yeah, the one thing, because I agree 100% because he did the classic. We're going to South Florida. Do you want to be a Cane? He was genius when they had the track scholarships that they could give.
Exactly.
Now you can't do all that stuff anymore. But anyway, this is a quarter century basically. Okay, recruiting classes about a quarter century apart.
Yeah,
a quarter century ago, you did recruit in your state. You had pride as a high schooler to play in your state.
Mm-hmm.
That, unfortunately, has kind of drifted away.
Well, a lot of the kids that Butch got were South Florida guys who grew up watching us play.
Yeah, exactly.
And their parents instilled, hey, aunties, uncles, hey, we Canes. If you're going anywhere, you going there.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's got to be some kind of sentiment for the Florida Gators where kids that want to be Gators.
And the other thing,
it's a different era.
It's true.
It's a
no,
different
I
era.
understand what you like.
Yeah.
Spurrier used to say, "I'd much rather have a guy who is desperate to be a Gator, than to beg some guy to come play."
Exactly.
Right. And I totally get it, but it's so much has changed since then. Now the social media world dictates, a lot of what these guys' feelings. The other part of it is that Butch had been there.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
True. Yep.
Right? So Butch could tell that story.
Mm-hmm.
He had been with Jimmy Johnson when you guys were winning national championships, and he left with the crew to Dallas.
Jimmy
but anyway,
Dallas,
he had been there and had experienced the success, he could tell that story. What story is Billy Napier telling these guys, honestly? And that's the part that's the hardest part of all. And he's telling it really slow, too.
Talk with molasses in your mouth. Hopefully someone got that Office reference.
Yeah, and so that's what he's dealing with. He's trying to convince somebody that he has the answer, and he right now does not appear that he does. And so if this is like a flower dying, petals are falling off the flower, and so little by little these recruits are dropping off. And I don't know the end result. We'll get a little bit of an idea tomorrow when they come through with these recruiting rankings, but he still has a chance to salvage stuff in February.
All I know is that DJ Lagway's signing is scheduled for 3:30 p.m. tomorrow, and honestly, I don't know whether to be happy or sad that it's not during our program and it's instead during the one that follows us, because I think it will be must-listen radio either way, if he does, in fact, sign with Florida, or if, Mike Elko's able to reel in the big one, which it should be noted, too, that one of DJ Lagway's best friends from his high school is scheduled to also potentially be headed to the Gators, and wide receiver DeBron Hampton. We know that Billy Napier has built this strong relationship with Lagway. We know Graham Mertz is coming back, but we also know that after that, the cupboard's kind of bare. And so it will be fascinating either way. And I don't want to compare it to the Rashada saga last year because that obviously was a completely different ball game. He may be transferring again. Is he in the portal, Matt? Is he not in the portal? But it's either way, whether DJ Lagway signs with Florida or does not, it will be a referendum, either good or bad, on Billy Napier.
The other part of this is 2 in-state schools. We talk about trying to keep people here. Top 10 recruiting classes right now for Mike Norvell and for Mario Cristobal. In the
top
composite,
3 for Mike Norvell.
Yeah,
I think they're going to finish 3.
So I didn't want to say that, but yeah, that's fine. Top 3 for the Noles. And look, FSU fans loving this right now because Norvell has, if you want to talk about a combo prize, it's the portal plus high school recruits, and he's killing it right now.
Bro, they won 19 straight.
Yeah.
Florida State.
You can recruit off of that.
That's 90s football Florida State right there.
And you know what that also is, Leon? It's the product.
Yeah.
And you can recruit off of the product.
Absolutely.
We also celebrated the 2-year anniversary of Fire Mike Norvell Twitter Spaces 3 days ago, and here we are 2 years later. So it can be done. We're not going to just completely bash Florida and Billy Napier and say it can't be done. It just may be more of an uphill climb, and you may need to get innovative like Mike Norvell did the way he attacked the transfer portal. The transfer portal was still kind of a new phenomenon when he got to got to Tallahassee in 2020.
Yeah. And I think the thing that let's make this a 10-10 take, and then you guys jump in on this because, and I'm going to keep harping on the same thing because it's driving me crazy.
Now, Joe C's 10-10 take. Slow smoked and served up by Sonny's Barbecue. Local pit masters since '68.
Sonny's Real Pit Barbecue, smoking it slow, serving it fast. That is the name of the game. Hey, what's your recipe for winning? Yeah, that's it right there. And all those delicious sides. And you can go garlic toast or cornbread along with all those other ones. You can get it right there at any one of your area Sonny's. I knew a guy that was working on what was called the project, okay? And once he got rolling in the project, people would say, what's the project all about? He could not tell you what the project was about because he didn't know what the project was about. You get what I'm saying? Okay, he just did not know. Well, I feel like that's what's going on in Gainesville. And I always talk about the product, and I don't think you can tell a recruit what the product is. Now, compare that to Mike Norvell. Mike Norvell came in with an offense that was successful at Memphis. They scored. Once he got his quarterback in place, he started doing the same thing in Tallahassee. And he looks like boundless enthusiasm, relentless when it comes to try and pull everything together and put together a championship-winning football team. He's got the product. He's proven that he can do this. Whereas you look to Gainesville, and they still don't know what the product is. That's the 10-10 take. I think that's what Mike Norvell has been successful with, Matt. He's been able to show you, hey, here's what Jordan Travis does in our offense. This is how he thrives. This is what these other guys are doing when they come here and they put on the uniform.
I think it's as much as anything he used the portal to supplement where he has holes. And the big thing was he hit on him. He hit on every one of them.
Beginning with Jermaine Johnson.
So you go right down the line. Yeah. That's how they got to 10 wins last year. And then, boom, this season happens. So you look at that and you look at what Billy Napier's done in the portal. First off, when Billy Napier got there, he did not embrace the portal. That's number one, okay? Number two, then when he gets in the portal, okay, the guys that have had the most success for him, the guys that were coming anyway, Torrance and
now,
Johnson.
And now the portal's not embracing him.
So if you look at the other two guys that really have done something for them are Mertz and Pearsall.
Yeah,
two decent players.
Yeah,
I mean, your huge gaping hole is on defense, which has been that way since 2020.
Right.
So nothing was upgraded defensively.
Mm-hmm.
You're still giving up historically bad numbers on defense. So no matter what you do offensively, no matter what system you run offensively, you still can't stop the other guy, which makes your offense look even worse.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the situation they were in this year through the Georgia game until the South Carolina game where they figured out, we're going to have to start throwing the ball downfield now because there's nothing else we can do. We're going to have to outscore people. And then once that started to happen, they started to throw the ball downfield a little more. It looked a little better offensively, yet the defense was still terrible. So my long story short, you've got to get guys from the portal that can impact your team right away, especially if you're a new coach at a new program. And he hasn't done that. He didn't embrace the portal initially. Now he's slow on it now. You look at them now. What do they have? 3 commitments from the portal?
Mm-hmm.
None of these guys are big-name guys. None of them.
Right. They're not headline. They're not headliners.
No, they're not guys. These are guys that fit into his quote-unquote culture. You can have that culture all you want. You're going to be dead with that culture on the vine in about, 9-10 months.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, by the way, Mike Norvell's got another coming from Athens.
Marvin
Jones.
Yeah,
Jr.
I mean, you need dudes like Marvin Jones Jr. Yeah. You don't need some kid from Penn who was a star in the FCS level.
Wait a minute. If you add Penn and Harvard together, because they're getting a couple of them, now you're talking about an
now you got a financial
recruiting class.
Penn and Harvard.
Yeah, I mean, look.
Most of us look to the Northeast and they head up to, I don't know, Western PA.
Look, I think we all like the guy because he seems like a good dude. You all want to be successful, but he's not lasting after this year, man. It's just no way.
Here's what's ringing in my ears. When he was first hired, Hack, Matt, and I don't know if Leon was part of this conversation. Anyway, we had a guy on that covered him in Louisiana, and he said, you guys need to brace yourself. He's not going to go recruit a bunch of 4 or 5 stars. He's going to get a bunch of 2 stars and make them better. And it's just still ringing in my ears because
that was when Hack said it's a better hire than Brian Kelly.
Yeah, it works at Iowa. It works at Kentucky. It doesn't work in the SEC at Florida.
It's just like
I know Kentucky plays in the SEC, but it's a very different situation.
Well, yeah, because you don't get to reach as high for the top recruits. Florida can reach that high and get the top recruits, but it still comes down to the Jimmys and Joes and developing them, coaching them.
Well, it's also like he's also lowered the bar now for Gator fans because now they lost a 5-star safety to Texas. Xavier Filsame, I think is his name.
Filsame, yep.
Mm-hmm.
And Hack responds to me yesterday and says, well, they knew he was going to flip anyway.
I have
heard
that.
You got to be kidding me.
Are they prepared for LJ McCray, right? The kid out of Daytona Mainland?
So now we're at the point now with Gator fans where they're okay with 7 or 8 wins. I just want 7 or 8 wins. I think I heard Hickens say that. I just want 7 or 8 wins. And then, we'll just move on from there.
Dan?
Are you guys out of your mind?
Said that?
Seriously.
Oh, yeah.
Are these Gator fans out of their mind that they now have this low opinion of their program? You are the flagship university in the state of Florida, which has more recruits than anybody, and you're getting crushed by Florida State and Miami right now in recruiting. You're getting crushed on the field. Why are you lowering your expectations? They should be way up here.
Well, yeah, you start wanting a 10 at 10, and you end up with a 2 at 2. And so I do know the feeling that has happened, but that's where you need to obviously raise your expectation, which means you put pressure on your head coach to deliver. They cannot be an also-ran. I've called them a field horse. That's the feeling that you're starting to get. The old joke I have: we're an academic institution or we're a spring sports school. That's not. Look, that's not. That's not the goal.
Honestly, here's the problem. Honestly, you cannot have the most dynamic player on your football team standing next to you on the sideline for more than 50% of your plays.
Mm-hmm.
You can't.
Yeah.
If you're Billy Napier and you have an elite player, get him on the field.
Sure.
Or he's going to leave. And look
and
what
you're talking
happened.
about Trevor Etienne.
Trevor Etienne left.
Yeah.
The best guy on his team offensively, and he's standing next to him for more than 50% of the game.
Yeah, I don't know what the total number of snaps, but it was basically half and half, okay, because we threw the numbers out.
Well,
Montrell,
I mean, Johnson had more snaps than him.
Yeah.
Had more touches than him. I don't know what else to say.
Yeah.
We still don't know officially where Trevor Etienne is going.
He's
for
going
those
to
of
Georgia.
you who are
That's
keeping
where he's
score.
going.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to be the big J journalist, as JJ likes to say. But yes, we have not gotten official confirmation. Obviously, Alabama, Ohio State, and Georgia have been flirting with the younger brother of Travis Etienne. So let's flip it now to the Dogs, because I see some Dog fans that are upset. They're not upset, excuse me. They're upset with us that I brought up Marvin Jones and, he had 10 tackles and 2 sacks and 400 snaps. Listen, that's off to the side. That's just a credit to Mike Norvell for saying, hey, let me get former 5-star guys and try to revitalize
And by the way, we had Shade Tree on, one of Leon's friends.
Yep.
And we asked him the question at that time. There was stuff that needed to be proved up in Tyler.
Oh, he still had issues with him.
Yeah.
He was supportive of him. He believed in him. And his son was being recruited by him. His son's coming back home because initially I thought his son was going to follow his dad's footsteps and go to Florida State. But here's another thing that Mike Norvell's got going for him as far as recruiting goes. They got 3 or 4 guys that are going to be first rounders.
Yeah.
NFL sales and recruiting with those kids. And I'm sure those players, Verse and Coleman, they got a lineman, Benson might go first round. I mean, that sells too. These high school kids, they want to be elevated to that next level. And if they see guys that are going and they see programs that's the reason why we stayed on top so long at Miami, because Mike and Sapp and Ray used to come back. Yeah. And high school kids will see Warren Sapp and Ray Lewis and Michael Irvin on campus.
Happy birthday, Warren Sapp.
Yeah, happy birthday, Sapp.
Yeah, Sapp's birthday.
But honestly,
old man.
Yahtzee, because that wins over any vote of confidence.
Anything a coach can say.
Yeah.
Well, it also wins when you can recruit Dade, Broward, and Palm Beach counties better than anybody. When they can do that. When Miami can do that, which is where Mario's headed right now. Yeah. When they can keep Alabama out of there and keep Ohio State out of there, then they'll win big.
Yeah, but don't forget this. All 3 state schools pushed out top-tier NFL talent. They all did it. Miami did it at a level that few have been able to enjoy for the longest time. And then FSU went through a long string. Anyway, that's what Florida was doing, and now they're not.
I remember Luther Campbell, Uncle Luke, told me a story that when Amari Cooper, this one Al Golden was the head coach. He took Amari Cooper from Northwestern.
South Florida kid, yep.
Miami wasn't recruiting him, all right? Miami was not recruiting Amari Cooper. Luther Campbell went and got Amari. He grew up a Hurricane fan, whatever. Mm-hmm. So he took him out on the field against their DBs, and he torched them, right? He came off the field, and Al Golden said to Luther and Amari Cooper, he said, Coach, this kid been a Hurricane fan all his life. Are you going to recruit him? He said, well, we'll think about it.
Oh, after watching him work out.
Did he say the same thing
Luke told me that story.
About Judy and Ridley?
And bro, I'm telling you, all them kids.
Because
all those kids came out of Northwestern.
Tuscaloosa.
That's the difference between having the right guy and not having
By the way, the right guy might flip Jeremiah Smith, who is now the number 1 player.
Really?
The kid from Fort Lauderdale who's going to Ohio State, has been committed to Ohio State forever. Apparently, Miami's throwing a ton of money at him. A ton of money. He might flip him.
You're talking about
rumor for a couple of weeks.
Chaminade Madonna.
I'd be shocked if that happened.
Well, there's Gator fans that think that they're going to flip him too.
Well, I mean,
no, that's not happening.
I mean, the 2 receivers.
I've got a light
one's
wallet.
going to Miami. The 2 receivers, one's going to Miami, and the other one's going to Ohio State. But hey, come on down. We'll take both of you.
Yeah.
Miami did just flip an Ohio State running back yesterday.
Yeah, they did.
Number 4 in the nation.
We did.
That's how you win there, man. If you can recruit those 3 counties better than anybody and keep everybody else out, you're going to win a national title.
Right.
That's where Mario's headed.
But it's so funny because when we mentioned some of these guys and it began
do
with
that and not,
kneel the ball when necessary.
Yeah,
He'll get a game
help.
day operations manager. We can have a game changers coordinator. We can have a game day operations manager. It's fine.
But the thing that with those South Florida kids, the SoFlo kids, I like to call them, that left, they did not go to Miami to go to Florida or Florida State. They left the state. And that was the NIL. That was Nick in limbo. I mean, that was Nick working his magic back then, plucking them out of the state of Florida. And so now, at the very least, if Mario – see, go back to what we talked about with Butch. Butch can tell the Miami story and convince kids to stay there. Mario can do the same thing.
He can, absolutely.
So it's a big day for Miami, Florida State at this juncture as we are less than 24 hours away from early signing day. Questions abound for Florida, but still, if you can lock up DJ Lagway, then there's optimism in Whoville. And you Georgia fans, we're going to get to you guys in the 1 o'clock hour. I think, if anything, and I understand some of you on the text line are trying to be our inside sources here and letting us know Trevor Etienne and the rest of those transfers won't be announced until Thursday after early signing day. I think there is a good chance that Carson Beck in Georgia, they run it back, and they run it all the way back to a national title. We will discuss that and a whole lot more coming up next in the 1 o'clock hour of XL Primetime.
Cruising with XL Primetime in the First Coast Honda Dealer Studios on 1010XL.
There's great effort out there.
Fires deep downfield, wide open, Jamal Agnew, touchdown!
We're going to stay aggressive.
Close to the middle of the field, ball picked off. Rayshawn Jenkins running it back.
Number one prized possession on the field is the football.
Gets it to the 20-yard line. The ball came out, the ball is fumbled.
We got to do a better job of protecting it.
I got faith in the team. We've been here before. We know how to get ourselves out of situations.
Next up, Tampa Bay.
We see spirits turn around, keep fighting. That's what we do.
Jaguars Buccaneers, Sunday at 4 on 1010XL, home of the Jaguars.
Stop stealing joy from loved ones by missing out on making memories because of your joint pain. PRPrelief.com has the answer. A local clinic with natural regenerative treatments. Go to PRPrelief.com today for your joint pain.
Mia here. If you found a $100 bill on the ground, you wouldn't just walk past it. So why are you passing up on a chance at easy cash with MyBookie? MyBookie has the biggest online selection of odds and contests to fill all your sports betting needs anytime, anywhere, so you could turn that sports knowledge into cash in your wallet. Bet on the NFL each and every week, college bowl games, or play for a share of big cash prizes in the weekly blackjack tournaments. If you've been waiting for the right time to get in on the action, the holidays are here, and that time is now. Make your winning move with MyBookie today. Sign up at MyBookie using promo code 1010XL and claim your deposit match redeemable up to $1,000. Again, that's promo code 1010XL to claim your bonus. Experience the thrill of sports betting this holiday season right from the comfort of your home. Bet anything, anytime, anywhere, only with MyBookie. And don't forget that promo code 1010XL.
Hey there, all you sports dads rocking the best dad bod possible. We love seeing you eat tacos by the handful, and we love it when you bring your kids here too. For years, Lucy claimed that her favorite thing on the menu was sopapillas, with big scoop of ice cream. I know that's not a taco, but that never stopped her. I was shooting for Dad of the Year anyway, so I just let it happen. Taco Lou's a great place to bring the family. There's something for everyone, as long as it starts with a taco. And a margarita for mom is always a good thing. At Taco Lou in Jacksonville Beach.
Mark Watson for Hardball Creative. Free promo tip. Put your logo on golf balls and give them to clients who are bad golfers. More hacks equals more exposure. Trust me, it's science. HardballCreative.com.
Hardball Creative. Hardball does it all.
The holidays are around the corner, and the last thing you want is a septic emergency. Call Duck Tech Rooter and schedule your septic tank pump out or full system inspection. 904-862-6769. That's 904-862-6769.
Home of the Jaguars. WJXL AM Jacksonville Beach. WJXL FM Jacksonville Beach.
This is Walker Little of your Jacksonville Jaguars for Kingfish Pest Control. I've been a Kingfish customer for a while now and can confirm that their service is incredible. Not only do they protect my family from pests, Kingfish's office staff is the friendliest around. They even email me a photo of the tech before arriving at my home. Kingfish Pest Control is a proud partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Be sure to enter their Swat That Kick sweepstakes for free pest control for 3 years. Go to kingfishpest.com and tell them Walker Little sent you.
What is the rule if a baseball hits the foul pole? The answer next.
How long has it been since you compared homeowners' insurance rates? Log on to southernoak.com to get an instant quote or find an agent near you.
Our family protecting yours. Southern Oak Insurance.
A baseball hitting the foul pole is ruled a fair ball. And if it's above the wall, well, that's a home run.
Southern Oak Insurance. Our family protecting yours.
Brian Wall here with Window World. You know that awesome feeling when you finally find that one place to go to that will give you a top quality product at a great price and then stand behind what they sell you? That's exactly what Window World does. Top quality, energy efficient windows at a great price that keeps more of your money in your bank account. With the absolute best guarantee in the window replacement business. That's why Window World has been the #1 window replacement company in the USA for years, selling more than 1 million windows each year for the past 8 years. That's a lot of satisfied customers, and you can be one too. Save money on installing new energy efficient windows and save on your energy bills too. You can't lose. And if anything goes wrong with your new Window World windows ever, Window World and I will be there to make it right. Call Window World today or see them online and have them come and give you a free estimate and see why we are so proud of our products and the work we do for our customers. Call Window World or go online at windowworldneflorida.com. And thank you for your business.
Window World also offers energy-efficient doors and siding.
Are you ready for some postseason football in Jacksonville? Be at Everbank Stadium as Trevor Lawrence leads the Jaguars in a postseason push for the Lombardi Trophy. Don't miss a single moment of the action at the bank this postseason. Secure your seats for the first round now by going to jaguars.com/tickets or by calling 904-633-2000. We can't wait to see you at the bank this January.
Clemson and Kentucky face off in Jacksonville at the Tax Slayer Gator Bowl game. Friday, December 29th at noon. Game tickets are on sale now at TaxSlayerGatorBowl.com. TaxSlayerGatorBowl.com.
Rhino Shield.
Stop paying for paint that doesn't protect. Permanently protect your home while saving tens of thousands of dollars compared to repainting. Say goodbye to water damage, mold, and algae, and enjoy decades of defense against chipping, cracking, and peeling. Beautifully durable colors on any surface, all backed by our 25-year warranty. Shield now and pay later with 0% financing. Request your free quote today at rhinoshieldjax.com.
Never paint your house again. Rhino Shield.
When's the last time you had your dryer vent cleaned? A clogged dryer vent is a fire hazard and wastes money on your electric bill. First Coast Home Pros dryer vent cleaning specialists are here to help. FirstCoastHomePros.com.
This is your Southeast Orthopedic Specialist local sports update. I'm Andrew Gibson for 1010XL. The Georgia Bulldogs got some news on their future quarterback situation on Monday. Bulldogs starting quarterback Carson Beck announced on social media that he will return to Georgia for his senior season. The Jacksonville native and Mandarin High School product was second in the SEC in passing yards this season with 3,738. Beck had a 12-1 record in his first season as the starting quarterback for Georgia and will lead the Bulldogs into the Orange Bowl next Saturday against Florida State. And nearly 2 hours after Beck announced his return to Georgia, five-star quarterback Dylan Raiola flipped his commitment from Georgia to Nebraska. It's 51 degrees at 1 o'clock. Time and temp brought to you by Bueller Air Conditioning. Stay cooler with Bueller.
1010XL is presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. Grilling up lunch with Leon and the Sausage Dudes. Sausage with a purpose on 1010XL.
We got purpose on this Beaver Toyota Tuesday, trying to figure things out with your Jacksonville Jaguars after 3 straight L's. You know, you spell Duval, especially on the social media handle, with 3 U's and just 1 L. But now we've reversed that bad boy. It's now 3 L's straight. And the Philadelphia Eagles feeling some of the same pain with 3 straight L's. So we are in to your Jaguars and how to fix the problems. We don't know what's going to go on with Trevor Lawrence. We do know that they're heading down to Tampa Town, and they are finding a Buccaneers team Christmas Eve that may want to give out a little coal in the old stocking to Duval fans coming down there. This is a dangerous game. You look at the Seahawks last night, and Drew Lock led that team to a victory. Take a look at all the backup quarterbacks that have led their teams to a victory. That was a meaty win for them. Now, granted, Jalen Hurts was hurt, Leon, but that was a meaty win for them when they needed it big time.
Well, I mean, listen, if you watch all these games with these backups quarterbacks, and so much attention is on the quarterback when they win the game, but you got to look at the execution, and I'm biased, of the offensive line and a lot of the play, the ability to run, protect, execute. And then the offensive coordinator is going to try to put the quarterback in the best position to where he's not stressed. So same thing happened to us with Browning and I call him Flipping Flacco. We had to see that. And the same thing we saw last night. Same thing. I mean, to go down and drive 92 yards to win the game, bro. Come on now.
And Kenneth Walker was doing work last night, too.
Yes, he was.
My
he was putting in a lot of work.
And they went through a period of time, and I guess Buck and Aikman were really zeroed in on this, but DK Metcalf had so few targets, and they were
He
just
made the most of them, though.
Yeah, he did. When he needed to make a catch, obviously the catch between the two defenders.
5 catches on 6 targets,
Yeah.
and he was their leading receiver with 78 yards.
Yeah, it just took there was like this big gap in time, and they were running the heck out of it. You know, the wine glass, Chardonnay. I mean, there's another. He's a rookie, right?
Yeah, rookie from UCLA.
Oh, Charbonnet, yeah, right at UCLA.
I didn't realize they were allowed to play.
Chardonnay. I call him that too, bro.
Yeah, I just call him the wine glass, Chardonnay.
Exactly.
But that guy is another rookie running the football in critical moments in big ball games.
They trust him.
Where is Bigsby? Honestly.
Bro.
Go down the line of these rookie running backs that are all stepping in and pitching.
Well, it's also a team that's desperate to get in the playoffs, and they're all invested. No, I know, but I'm saying the team is invested.
Yeah.
Like they gutted out that win last night.
Yeah, exactly.
With
But I'm
a
just
backup quarterback.
My whole point is that he's been contributing, just like Brown up in Cincinnati,
Yes.
Mitchell up in
Yes.
Baltimore. You can go down the line with these rookie running backs. This is a problem here, okay? Tank right now is stuck in the mud.
Well, the problem with Tank is that he has as many turnovers as he does carries.
Yeah.
Be quite honest with you.
Yeah, you can't trust
You
him.
can't trust
Is
him,
that
bro.
bad?
Not in December. Not in December. Hell no. Not when you're trying to make a push. When every game is as important as it is now, you may tolerate that early in the season, but late in the season in December, you'll become a healthy scratch real quick.
Yeah. So you can vote on the social media at 1010XL. JJ, real easy for them to find it, correct?
Yeah, go to 1010XL's X, Twitter. We are one of the first ones, but as always, this question of the day brought to you by Beaver Toyota of St. Augustine. After 3 straight losses, who is in a worse place? Jags or the Eagles? Jags winning big time, about 90% right now. Someone says this is an easy answer. Jags. Eagles could lose the rest of their games and still make the playoffs. Another one, Jags have an easy schedule, so we'll be okay. Eagles are already in the dance and have the Giants twice. Yeah, I tend to agree with that.
Yeah, and so let us know. Throw a comment on top of your vote in the X poll.
Should we save that poll for tomorrow when after Lagway flips and then throw Florida on there too and see what happens?
Yeah, see which ones. That
Are they on a 3-game losing streak?
they're in a
I'm trying to do
category
the math
all
in
by
my head.
Yeah, they're on a 4.
There you go. They're on a 4.
Yeah.
Let's not get our hopes up. Lagway's not going to flip.
Let's not get our hopes up.
Hey.
What's going to happen when we're in the 3 to 6 slot next week? I'm sorry. I'm sorry to those that listen during that hour.
All right, so recruiting definitely on the brain. And you Knowles, you Canes, you Gators, you Dogs, you guys can hit the text line 641-1010 and just either how stoked or depressed are you when it comes to, those recruiting rankings. I said it earlier and I said it to Tenny yesterday. Carson Beck, my gut all along was this kid just barely got the reins of basically BMOC, big man on campus. I'm the quarterback. I've been here. I've put my time in, and now I finally got the football in my hands, and I'm leading this team. And obviously they were in it all the way down to the end, had won, 28 in a row, something in that neighborhood. Anyway, Carson, I just think fully embraced that and can improve his stock even more next year while getting a good NIL deal this year to come back.
Listen, I understand. And Carson will be a senior next year, right?
Redshirt. So fifth year,
Fifth year senior. Because I remember being a redshirt junior, and we went 10-2, and we played in the Cotton Bowl, right? And I remember my offensive line coach running up to me during spring. I was there to get my schedule. He ran up to me and said, "What's this I hear about you coming out early?" I said, "Coming out early? I don't know what you're talking about." He said, "I'm coming back for my senior year. I want to win a national championship going out my senior year." He said, "I had a first-round grade." I said, "Well, I didn't know that. I appreciate you telling me now, but I'm still not coming out." But I understand, like you said, he's the big man on campus.
Yeah.
I can't understand that one loss is a disappointing season to Georgia.
It's crazy.
That's the standard, right? Hey, one loss is a disappointing season to Georgia.
One win is an improvement for Florida. Yeah.
Exactly. So now Carson, he's the man. He's going to come back. Georgia's going to be the overwhelming favorite to win the national championship next year.
I'm old enough to remember when Carson Beck was going to Florida.
Yeah. As a Mandarin kid.
World's smallest violin. I'm actually old enough, JJ, to remember when he was going to play football and baseball at Alabama, too.
Oh, yeah.
So
he committed, I think, on the Sports Den, I believe.
Did he really?
Yeah.
To Bama?
Yeah, from Bama.
Wow, yeah.
To go to Florida, and then what happened?
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Wow.
And look, he was a kid that if you stare right down the road to Gainesville, he obviously had ties and had a rooting interest in them, but then Kirby Smart did his thing, got him in there. And you know what else? The style of play at both of those schools, they had that drop back passer look to what they were doing up in Athens compared to games.
Well, they also
at the
had
time.
Nick Saban and Kirby Smart.
Yeah, exactly. So. They had a guy who walked right in and instantly made them competitive. Yeah. Oh, what is that, Matt? That's the product, right? Yeah. That's the product.
Well, I mean, he has a first-round grade, right?
Yes.
So, I mean, he late first-round grade. He wants the number one. He wants to be number one.
Well, he could have. Yeah. He could have going to the combine, having his pro day workouts at the school, going on the grease board for scouts, having the individual interviews. He could have risen high.
Oh, I don't doubt it.
Top 10 high.
I don't doubt it.
I had 2 different scouts tell me that. He could have been top 10 guy.
Well, it's like we said, Drake May's measurables are still as solid as they come.
Sure.
Caleb Williams, yes.
Sure.
Okay.
But it's the position.
Yeah. It's the
position in the NFL.
Yeah, and Jaden Daniels was Matt Miller, one of the guys that we've had on that is a good draftnik. Mm-hmm. He had Jaden Daniels projected 4th.
Well, so, how committed is he to coming back? Because there's going to be a lot of people in his ear when when this bowl's over.
I totally agree.
Agents are going to be in his ear. This draft stock is going to go rise and fall, whatever agent. So, I mean, how committed is he to staying?
I mean, he
says he's going to Georgia.
They put out the University of Georgia put out a graphic.
Yeah, he's coming back.
And the check has been signed.
So okay. I don't disagree with you.
Yeah.
I don't disagree with you at all. All I'm saying is it's
that bag is going to get heavier and heavier.
In our conversation,
every week it gets heavier.
But doesn't it make you feel a bit, as someone who played for the love of your university and your school, Leon? Does it do something for you emotionally to hear that he is that committed to finishing the job at Georgia?
It is. I mean, I had the luxury of when I came into Miami, I won a title, and when I came in, I won a title my freshman year.
Which so did Carson, by the way.
Yeah,
he has too.
Exactly.
He just wasn't playing.
So I wanted to leave with a title. So losing 2 games last year. I mean, losing 2 games when I was at Miami was a disappointment. That was a standard at Miami at that particular time. So I wanted to go out my senior year with a title, and I was committed to that. And the guys who came in with me were committed to that as well. I said, look, bro, we're not going out like this. 10-2, we're not going out with 10-2. We need to go undefeated and win this chat, and we did. We accomplished our goal.
It's crazy that you can have that in your sights and go do it.
And you know what's crazy is because I remember when we won a national title, we beat Nebraska 22-0 in the Orange Bowl. Right? I remember being in the 50-yard line, and me and Mario were hugged. We hugged whatever, and I said, "Is this it?" Because I think the journey getting there was more fulfilling than the actual product. I won a championship. Yep. I was in the Orange Bowl. But what we went through to get to that and win that, the confetti and everything, I was like.
The climb.
I was like, is this it?
No, it's not it, because now we can talk crap to the other fan bases for the rest of my life.
Forever.
Well,
that climb.
Thank you for your service,
Yeah, thank
Leon.
you. Exactly. Before we leave the Georgia segment, we got to say they did lose the number 1 quarterback in the nation yesterday, Dylan Raiola, whose uncle coaches at Nebraska, whose father played in Nebraska, committed to Nebraska yesterday.
Yeah.
Which he technically has been playing high school football in Buford. One of our nooners actually pointed out on the text line that of the top 10 recruits out of the state of Georgia, none of them now are actually going to the University of Georgia. So Kirby's going to have to hit the portal, not just for the rest of that roster, but especially that quarterback room with Brock Vandegrift heading to Kentucky. We don't know the status with Gunnar Stockton, and they do have Puglisi, the now elevated to a 3-star quarterback, who committed over the weekend.
He does have the number 1 class in the nation.
That's what I'm saying. It's impressive what he's doing. It's not like he's just keeping guys at home akin to Mario. What we're saying is, like, each of these recruiting wins is different.
And it's worth noting that it's outside of the state of Georgia. It's outside of the Peach State, which, going back to the conversation we had with Leon earlier, you didn't leave your state. That's how you grew up and planned to play that next level, was in your state. And now that it's coast to coast.
He's got 3 in the top 13 from Georgia is what he's got. He's got number 8, the number 12, and the number 13. That's
yeah. Oh,
he's also got anybody else he wants.
Do you know that how many guys
if
would
Billy
have to,
Napier didn't have the top 10 in Florida and still have the number 1 class, which would be all right with that?
Yeah, this is not a Billy discussion. This is a Kirby. This is what I'm saying is that he would have to have 5, 6, 7 defections for him to come off the number 1.
At least, yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
So not just 1 or 2 to come off the number 1. No, he'd have to have a bunch, more than a handful. And so, no, this guy is relentless. That's why he was on Beck's behind to make sure that he knew he was coming back. And even though Denny was kind and said he wasn't, roughing up Carson, I guarantee you he wanted to know.
Hell yes, he was roughing him up a little bit. You
Yeah.
know he was.
Yeah. Now listen to this.
Not like rough, but he was saying, look, man, I got to know.
Exactly. All right, meanwhile, we need to at least get into this a little bit more. Channing Crowder on the pivot with Fred Taylor and Ryan Clark. His quote about the head coach, Billy Napier, Napier doesn't have enough S blank 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 to him. He's pleasant. I like him. I've met him. He named a trophy after me. He's a good human to sit down in his office and talk to him. But he's basically saying the guy don't have it.
He's a nice neighbor.
Yeah,
he's a good PTA president.
He named a trophy after me. He's a good human. But that's what you're up against right now if you're Florida.
And you're going to be up against, if we want to throw the ETN rumors out there, you're going to have ETN in the backfield for Georgia with Carson returning for a second year. You got London Humphreys, who's already transferred from Vanderbilt.
Did he commit to Georgia?
There's a couple different sites that have reported it as of 2 days ago that he's going to Georgia.
He's a good player, man. He's a really good player that's been overshadowed, man. He's a really good player.
That was Fred that said that?
No, that was Channing Crowder that said it. Yeah. Now, that doesn't mean that Fred...
I was concerned. I really was concerned. Okay, I was just concerned because you talking about what you could use as a recruiting against Florida, that right there. I'm glad. I was like, I know Fred did say that.
Channing probably said it, and Fred probably looked at him and said the same thing. I'm glad you said that.
Yeah.
All right, it's XL Primetime. Chime in on that. Recruiting tomorrow. We'll definitely be all over it, that's for sure. On a Beaver Toyota, Beaver Chevy Tuesday, we'll get back to your Jags and the rest of the National Football League as well.
You're riding in the First Coast Honda Dealer Studios. XL Primetime on 1010XL. He was one of the nicest guys in football. Now he's one of the nicest guys on 1010XL.
Okay,
Catch David Garrard Mondays from 10 to noon on Jaguars Today.
On 1010XL.
Brought to you by your local Napa Auto Care Centers. Bold City Heating and Air is truly a family-owned and operated local company and treats all customers like family. Don't be fooled by the out-of-towner equity firms and national corporations that use local names. There's one name you can trust when it comes to your home's heating and cooling system. Bold City Heating and Air. Jacksonville grown and entirely loyal to this community. Schedule your winter maintenance by visiting boldcityac.com.
Whether you are looking for a job or an employer trying to hire, there's only one stop in Jacksonville, Remedy Staffing. Labor trends keep us guessing. As employers, the job market's been strong. So what does that mean for workers' availability? If you're interested in the workforce solutions or how the Remedy team can help you, call or text Crystal at 904-329-9802. 329-9802, Remedy Staffing.
The holidays are here, which means the Chevrolet Red Tag sales event is in full swing. This month, save up to $10,000 off a powerful 2023 Chevy Silverado 1500. Nimnik has the largest inventory on the ground, outstanding cash incentives, and the best price guarantee. With nearly 200 Silverados in stock, your perfect truck is waiting for you at Nimnik Chevrolet. That's Nimnik, your friends in the car business since 1941. Chevrolet, together let's drive.
The shoulder is one of the body's largest joints, prone to a variety of injuries and conditions that cause pain. Dr. George Bari here, and at Bari Orthopedics, we know an active lifestyle can lead to serious joint pain. We can help with an accurate diagnosis and treatment for a full spectrum of shoulder injuries, from arthritis, bursitis, tendonitis, or rotator cuff and labral tearing. Bari Orthopedics can help. If you or a loved one suffers from shoulder pain, don't hesitate to call or log on to bariorthopedics.com.
Hey, it's Matt Hayes. Want even more excitement on game day? Then test your skills at Prize Picks, the best way to win big on fantasy sports. Just select 2 or more players, pick their projection for a wide variety of statistics, and place your entry. Simple. You can turn $10 into $250 just like that. And with pro and college basketball season here, you can now pick combo projections from the Specials League. For example, tonight I have UTSA quarterback Frank Harris to throw for more than 240.5 yards against Marshall, and Grizzlies guard Ja Morant to score more than 25 points against the Pelicans. Now listen to this. Prize Picks is the only daily fantasy sports platform with an injury insurance policy, so your entries stay in play even if one of your players gets injured. Take your game day experience to the next level with Prize Picks, and right now, when you go to prizepicks.com/1010XL and use the promo code 1010XL, Prize Picks will match your first deposit up to $100. Prize Picks, daily fantasy sports made easy.
This date in sports history is brought to you by Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
On December 19, 1989, Celtics' Larry Bird begins his NBA free throw streak of 71 straight games, just barely short of Calvin Murphy's record of 78.
PRI Productions is the official game day production partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Hi, I'm Randy Goodwin, president and owner of PRI Productions. Chances are, if you've been in Jacksonville over the last 30 years, you've seen our work, from corporate and social events to concert production and much more. We have the equipment and expertise to make your next event memorable. So call the experts at the Jaguars Call. PRI Productions, bringing your ideas to life.
Hi, everybody. Mike Dempsey here. Forget New Year's resolutions. Make this year a revolution by discovering what it feels like to succeed at losing weight with Awaken 180. Not another failed New Year's attempt. Succeed with the solution for weight loss at awaken180weightloss.com.
Hunting season is here, so lock and load on that new rifle or shotgun at Beach's Jewelry and Pawn in Jacksonville Beach. Tons of great options with the best prices and no waiting this side of the ditch. Arm yourself with the best at Beach's Jewelry and Pawn in Jacksonville Beach.
Hello, this is Father Nicholas Lowe, and I want to talk to you about being a peacemaker. Friends, so often we can only want to help people who are in our inner circle. But God never had inner circles. The world was his inner circle, and he's depending on us to make a difference and to leave our mark in this life. So go out today receiving his peace and then sharing it with the world.
To hear more inspirational messages by Reverend Dr. Nicholas Lowe, please visit our website at stjohnthedivine.com.
It's easy to get caught up in the holiday scramble, but as we near the end of the year, let's focus on what makes America great, our faith and freedom. Hello, it's Congressman Aaron Bean, and this year I've been busy delivering results for you, from helping with passports and the VA to recovering thousands of dollars in owed benefits from the IRS and Social Security. My team has worked hard to take care of constituents in Northeast Florida. Serving you is what we do. Visit bean.house.gov. This is Congressman Aaron Bean wishing you a blessed holiday season. Paid for by official funds authorized by the House of Representatives.
1010XL is presented by Farrah & Farrah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. That just happened. Brought to you by Florida Home AC, the official air conditioning partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
I'm sure you're all going to be shocked by this. Aaron Rodgers is currently making his weekly appearance on the Pat McAfee Show. Here are some of the quotes from what he has had to say so far. If I was 100% today, I'd definitely be pushing to play. But the fact is, I'm not. I've been working hard to get closer. I'm still 14 weeks tomorrow from my surgery, and being medically cleared as 100% healed is not realistic at 14 weeks. At least there would have been a conversation about it. It was always going to be a difficult rehab.
If they hadn't gotten smoked by Miami, yeah, exactly. That's he didn't want to come back to a losing situation. That's not for me.
And so the bottom line is that it sounds like he's not going to be medically cleared, and he will not be playing for the New York Jets, who have already mathematically been eliminated from the playoffs.
Yeah, and look, I marvel at how the guy plays, because as we mentioned yesterday, Trevor is now 18-18. He's not 18 for 18. He's 18 touchdowns, 18 turnovers. And if you look at the efficiency that Aaron Rodgers operated at, oh, my goodness.
Still, to this day, in his 40s,
I think we need to amend that stat, by the way. I think it's 16 turnovers, 10 picks, and 6 fumbles lost.
10 and 6?
I believe, yeah.
All right, let's make sure facts are important.
Yeah, come on, guys.
Okay.
I just
went off a Matt.
How many fumbles for Trevor Lawrence?
All right, I just went off a Matt. I looked at him, and he's a journalist. So I looked at him
That's
as
why I thought he was right, too.
All right, thank you very much. You know what? I think that's the perfect time to do a bold fact.
Yeah, how many fumbles does Trevor Lawrence
Here's a
have?
bold fact, brought to you by Bold City Brewery, Duval's first craft brewery. Online at boldcitybrewery.com.
First off, I'm fired up. We're going to be at Bold City Brewery Friday. Okay?
Woo!
Yeah, so the production house right there on Roselle. You can make plans now. Friday, they open up at noon. So we would love to see you. Looking forward to that. Don't forget Bold City with all their brews, okay? The first brewery in Duval in 2008, celebrating 15 years. Go get you one of their great crafts. All right, so here we go. Tampa Bay, Jacksonville's next opponent, Baker Mayfield, passed for 381 in 4 touchdowns, no picks. 158.3 passer rating. That's the highest attainable mark. Buccaneers blew out Green Bay, Battle of the Bays, beat them up in Lambeau. Third player with at least 375 passing, 4 touchdowns, and a 158.3 passer rating in a road game in NFL history. Okay? All of that. Third player to do it. Who are the other 2?
Peyton Manning.
158.3 passer rating on the road.
Aaron Rodgers.
At least 375 and 4.
Brock Purdy, I think, was 1.
These are all great guesses. No one has gotten a ding yet.
I'm going to say Tua.
Still no ding.
Somebody's going to be really efficient.
Well, we said Aaron Rodgers, and then he went, ooh, I have a bold fact.
Is it
So is
Tommy?
it Favre?
Nothing yet.
Roethlisberger.
Nothing yet.
Elway.
All right, I'm going to say these are semi-obscure. Semi-obscure, but one of them was a first-rounder, and the other one is certainly had his moments.
Matthew Stafford.
Jared Goff.
No.
Had his moments. Carson Wentz?
Yeah, had his moments could mean a lot.
Yeah, I know.
Nick
I was really trying to phrase that correctly.
Who's the guy before Warner? What was his name? Trent Green.
Nope.
Wow.
All right, I'll give it to you. I'll give it to you because one of these guys, if I have this right,
Are you going to pull out a Kyle Bowler here? Is that what you're going to do?
No. But I'm telling you, it's one of the guys. Like I said, a first rounder, but
Kerry Collins,
but kind of obscure. Okay, remember the 30 for 30 Elway to Marino? Was Ken O'Brien one of the guys drafted in the first round?
Yeah. God.
So Ken O'Brien, one of them that did it.
No
on
relation,
the road.
by the way. I do not have an Uncle Ken.
So Ken O'Brien, 1986 at Seattle, up there, while he was with the New York Jets, he had the perfect passer rating, 4 touchdowns and 375. The other guy that done this, the other guy that has done this has a statue. Nick
of course.
Flipping Foles.
Nick
Foles, November 3rd, 2013, at Oakland with an Eagles uniform on. How about that?
Chip Kelly as his head coach, which I know.
2013, he was with the Eagles?
Yeah.
Oh, his first stint.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was
exactly.
That
with the chipper.
The young Nick Foles sensation with the chipper. Which, speaking of the chipper, we can maybe get to this coming up a little bit later.
Yeah.
Young intern John Party just sent me, and I talked about this with a couple of buddies on another podcast yesterday. The Chip Kelly argument about why hasn't football just broken away. And people are like praising him, and in college football in terms of conference realignment, like football should break away,
be by itself,
not do this to the other sports. And everyone's acting as if he like found the cure for cancer, and I'm just like, have we not been debating the same thing on this program for like a year and a half now? But
because we called it a Super D1, just break away. You
we
don't
literally
have to run
made a
any
graphic
of
of it.
Yeah.
By the way, I have an update.
Yeah.
According to NFL.com, he has 6 fumbles this year, so it's 18-16.
Okay,
Wow.
18-16.
Like however. This is something more a little disturbing.
Yeah?
He has 20 lost fumbles in his career.
20 lost fumbles.
Yeah,
total.
remember last year against the
60.
Eagles, he had 4 in one game,
Yeah,
right?
So that's and we're not through the 3rd year yet.
And sometimes it's ghosts that get him.
And
Like
how many career,
in the
and how
Eagles
many
game
career
last year
picks
and
does
last
he
week.
have?
Yeah. It was what?
How many career picks does he have?
He had 17 year
31, 32.
Year 1. Cleaned it up last year. Is right now operating with 10. So in the 30s. Definitely in the 30s.
So he's in the 50s. His balls are different in person. He's in the 50s in turnovers in year 3.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's a lot.
That's
Look,
16
and by the
and
way,
a half a year.
Josh Allen basically was averaging a turnover a game, but still did all the other things. He threw for a lot of touchdowns, ran for touchdowns. And then Dak Prescott had his moments last year. Stafford had his moments last year. They led the league in interceptions. And so, you can turn it around, but he has absolutely got to clean it up.
He's got 35 career interceptions right now.
Yeah.
And what I say, 20 career fumbles.
Yeah, so 55. Yeah.
Wow.
That's a lot. All right, you guys chime in on that. 641-1010.
Thanks, Matt.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, look, I think the guy's going to be a great player. All I'm telling you is that stuff's got to stop.
Yeah.
In the words of Channing Crowder, that S blank blank blank's got to stop.
Exactly. It's got to stop. TLD brought you all peanut M&Ms just to put a smile on your face.
That stuff does not have to stop.
Yeah, especially with all the misery we're dealing with right now.
Merry Christmas.
I'm a fat kid.
And a Happy New Year.
The First Coast Honda Dealer Studios on 1010XL. The great thing about live sports, you never know what's going to happen.
Oh, how did he pull that off?
Get the most live play-by-play on 1010XL.
Did you know the new 2023 Honda Accord Hybrid has an onboard system that charges the battery so you never have to plug it in? When you think Honda, you think quality, value, safety. Now think hybrid. Visit your local Honda dealer and experience the car of tomorrow today.
Come to Monahan Jewelers' 46th annual holiday sale now with up to 30% off on GIA certified diamonds and up to 40% off our entire store. Certified diamonds, gemstones, engagement rings, diamond studs, designer brands. We're not a big box store. We're your local family jeweler with an amazing hand-picked inventory for every budget. And with interest-free financing, enjoy beautiful jewelry with a low monthly payment. Support your local family jeweler this Christmas with up to 40% off our entire inventory. Monahan Jewelers in Atlantic Beach. Open 7 days a week in December.
Jimerson Burr is a full-service, Florida-based commercial law firm dedicated to helping businesses manage risk, maximize opportunities, and move their company forward. Jimerson Burr attorneys are business-oriented lawyers, equally comfortable as community leaders, private transaction counselors, or courtroom advocates. If you have a legal issue of any kind affecting your business, contact the firm at 389-0050 or jimersonfirm.com.
Hey folks, if you want to add value to your home without breaking the piggy bank, Shark Coatings offers multiple finance options to meet your budget. Like a smaller garage for as low as $45 per month, or a standard 2-car garage around $58 a month. And a 4-car driveway with a walkway is only $82 a month. Of course, each property is unique and our design consultants can give you exact pricing for your project. But here's a way to only spend a little each month for the Shark Coatings your concrete floors need now. Shark Coatings. We're ready when you are.
Do you accept the Ultimate Bowl Challenge? Of course. Get into bowl season with 1010XL's Bowl Pick'em, and you could win $1,000 of jewelry from Beard's Diamonds.
This is fantastic. I love it.
Find out more at 1010XL.com.
Flickering lights and hot switches can be annoying. They can also signal a major problem or electrical emergency. So leave it to the pros and Mr. Sparky.
8 Sparky.
Your on-time electrician, Mr. Sparky of the First Coast.
Universal Roofing Contracting presents the Offensive Player of the Game. Universal Roofing Contracting. The difference is universal.
Jamal Agnew was dynamic on Sunday versus Baltimore. The former 5th-round pick recorded 70 yards on 2 receptions, plus 1 touchdown in what was a fantastic return for the Teal and Black Star. Performances like this will have the rest of the league talking and have him fired up for next week. Jamal Agnew is your Universal Roofing Contracting Offensive Player of the Game.
Now is the perfect time to make sure that your roof hasn't been damaged after storm season. Schedule a complimentary roof inspection with Universal Roofing Contracting. And right now, get 15% off your roof replacement and repairs. Plus, flexible financing options are available. This offer expires December 31st and restrictions apply. Universal Roofing Contracting, proud partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars. License number CCC 057165, CBC 1258484.
UniversalRoof.com. Are you an experienced automotive technician and tired of working for employers who put profit over people? Then come to Action Transmission on Merrill Road and get trained on how to diagnose and rebuild today's complex transmissions. See how we're different. Get traction on your career and come to Action.
Equal opportunity employer.
This is Coach Ellen Darley of Darley's Plumbing. Likeable as we are, you probably don't want to have to call us. So in football season, remember these tips that keep your favorite local plumber very busy and could make us visit when you throw chicken wings or bones or even potato skins down the disposal. If you pour grease down the drain or in the toilet. Ew! I hope not, but if that happens, call us at Darley's Plumbing, where quality counts. Find us at darleysplumbing.com. License number CFC 056702.
A lot of companies will tell you they're the best. At Custom Tree Surgeons, they show you every time. Custom Tree Surgeons has built an all-pro team. Every tree service professional has years of experience, continually trained and certified. They know what, when, and how to handle any job. It gets done efficiently and quickly by a team of experts. So for tree trimming, removal, stump grinding, and emergency services, forget any name other than Custom Tree Surgeons. There is no job they can't do better. Go to website CustomTreeSurgeons.com. That's CustomTreeSurgeons.com, and let them show you how the job is supposed to get done.
Brian and Angela Wall here with Window World. Hurricanes happen in Florida. That's not news. But what happens even more often than hurricanes are home break-ins. And if security is important to you, you might want to look into hurricane-rated impact windows.
What you may not know is that hurricane-rated impact windows not only help protect your home in case of a hurricane, but they also offer another level of security for your home.
Have you seen those videos on YouTube that show people trying to break through an impact window? A thief is way too lazy to spend his energy trying to break through one of our impact windows. That's why he doesn't have a real job like you. He'd rather break your non-impact window while you're at work. Window World has high-quality, very affordable hurricane-rated impact windows to help protect your home from hurricanes and from lazy thieves.
Call us today at 904-443-7001. Get a free estimate and see for yourself. You save energy, get more security, and the windows add value to your home. With all Window World windows, you get the best guarantee in the window replacement business.
Window World,
simply the best for less.
And thank you for your business.
This is Dr. Turner Vossler, Assistant Team Physician for your Jacksonville Jaguars. Here's the latest update on the Jaguars, brought to you by Baptist Health and JOI.
After Sunday night's loss to the Baltimore Ravens, the Jaguars have now hit a 3-game losing streak. Jaguars tight end Evan Ingram was asked in the post-game locker room if he feels like the season is slipping away.
Hell no. Hell no. Hell no. No, we lost to a good team tonight. But we definitely still are hurting ourselves. So it's not like things are, being really snatched out of our hands. We're kind of letting these things go, and the clock is ticking for us to fix it.
Jaguars tight end Evan Ingram in the postgame. Watch the full video on our 1010XL YouTube page. I'm Andrew Gibson with your Jacksonville Orthopedic Institute Jaguars update.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. This is XL Primetime. Brought to you by Florida Home AC. Now that's cool on 1010XL.
All right, I do reserve the right to swerve off the interstate and hit the exit ramp. I just want to bring this up because it's Christmas time and you're always going to have family around, and whenever you lose someone, especially around a holiday, it's very tough. Thanksgiving, I always think of my mom because we lost her. So Frankie, our long-haired Dotson that we have had and been so lucky to have forever, he's just not going to make it. It's sad as hell. Yeah. It really, really is sad. Matt and I were just talking about it walking back into the studio. And so, the family, it's like he's one of us, okay? This little man lived to be 17. And so, anyway, unfortunately, it just looks like he's not going to make it. And so, TLD's all sad. We were going to go get Hyla from the airport tomorrow night and hope that he would make it, but it just doesn't look like he's going to make it. So, hug your dogs, okay? Hug your pets along with your people. During the holiday season. But I was telling you guys the story. We're going to find a nice, peaceful place for him. But when we first cleared our property, it was a buddy of mine, Scott Clarkson, in St. Aug, and he's clearing this piece of property. We're going to build our house. And we were backing up to another neighbor's backyard in another little mini development. Anyway, as Clarkson's clearing the land, this little kid comes out, 8 years old.
No, wait, stop right there. That's not how you initially told it.
No, that's not
Because you initially told it was, as Clarkson was clearing this yard, there was an 8-year-old boy, and we're like, what?
Yeah. No.
After he told us that he buried all his animals in the backyard,
right,
and he's
so
like,
thinking,
and then I'm clearing the land, and there's an 8-year-old
right
boy.
now in St. Augustine.
I didn't even realize it sounded that way.
Some weird things have happened in Joe's childhood, as we have learned all too well.
Anyway, the 8-year-old boy was not buried in the backyard.
Yeah, he's not buried in the backyard. This is not the Burbs or anything like that, which you still need to see that, JJ. But anyway, so little man has his air rifle, okay, and he's firing at Clarkson. And Clarkson has to shut the front end loader down. He's like, wait a minute, little man, puts his hands up. And he's like, whoa, whoa, whoa. And we were clearing our land right on the edge of the properties where he had laid his dog to rest.
Oh, man.
And so he was – and so –
that was his own burial ground.
Yeah, and so Scott smartly said, let's find another place. And they, moved the headstone for him where he was at peace. Well, that was a tender moment, okay?
Yeah,
no question about it. Fast forward a few years, and this kid air rifles one over the fence and shatters our back door. Okay, he turned into a little bit of
turd.
Yeah.
Well, that was a huge red flag right away. Him,
Right.
like letting off shots at a random
Well,
man.
especially because Joe at first described this young man as a degenerate, and I was like, "What is he in to the gambling game?
Oh, my gosh.
Like he got into gambling, and that's why things went awry."
I walked into the house, or I pulled up, and there was a deputy outside, and anyway, he had lobbed in, he arced it over the fence,
really,
and shattered the French door. That was, again, years later, after the first incident.
Well, he was 8, so years later was what, 13, 14?
13.
How old were you when you got your
definitely a
first
turd,
Red Ryder / air rifle? I mean, we were like 10 maybe.
Well,
we got a Red Ryder.
I didn't get it, JJ, because I was poor.
Oh,
so.
yeah, of course. I forgot
But
about
it's
that.
probably,
I totally forgot about that.
We used sticks and rubber bands, JJ, okay?
It was probably about that time.
They had their Red Ryder at Matt's house to hunt for food.
Before
we couldn't use it.
Before we say hi to Coach Campo, I do want to do one more note on the college front because we had a couple texters on the text line brought to you by Lifetime Enclosures ask about if Billy Napier was to be fired, who would be the next Florida head coach? Who would you like to see as Florida's next head coach? And I think we can tie these two things together. Kalen DeBoer was named AP Coach of the Year based on the AP Top 25 voters. He received 30 of 52 first-place votes, 113 points. Mike Norvell finished in second. Eli Drinkwitz was third. Jed Fish was fourth. And a couple of our Nooners have said that while certainly, the Lane Kiffin name has been rumored to Florida for many, many moons, would Jed Fish want to come home to Florida, especially in light of what he has done out in the desert?
In a heartbeat, but if your first decision isn't Lane Kiffin, you're doing something wrong.
Talking about owning the portal, that guy is destroying the portal right now.
It's just it's the way he coaches, it's the way he recruits, it's the way he's not the same guy he was at USC, okay? The last time he had a major job.
Yeah,
he gets a major job now, he's going to crush it. He will absolutely crush it.
And would you say, I think maybe the most what's the best way to phrase this? For Hottie Toddy, for Ole Miss, the most impressive thing about this is that is a state that is regarded with not as much blue chip talent and not a desirable place necessarily. In other words, if a recruit is listing desirable places, so he has overcome a heck of a lot.
He's, put it this way, if you're talking about the best states to recruit college football players, Texas or Florida are 1 and 2. Okay, they switch every year, 1 to 2. Mississippi's probably 20.
Yeah, it's
19,
down
18,
there.
19, 20, somewhere around there. There's good players there, but it's only 10 to 12 good players. Whereas with Florida, there's 100 good players that you can build with.
Yeah.
So it's his play calling, it's his recruiting, it's his roster building, it's his understanding of how to deal with the times we're in right now in college football, how your roster management is so much more than just recruiting high school players. The days of doing it, quote-unquote, organically are gone. You can't do it that way anymore. You have to use the portal, and you have to re-recruit your own roster all the time. And coaches can complain about it all they want, and it's like I keep hearing this, well, it's not sustainable. Yes, it is.
Oh, yeah.
And if you don't like it, then guess what? The next guy will pay $8 million. He'll do it.
Well,
so it is sustainable. What's going on right now is sustainable, and it will continue.
It's a hybrid model, and we have these gas and electric cars now. It's a hybrid model, and if you can do both, meaning if you get the prize, because the portal guys come in, and here's the argument, Leon. You go back and Jimmy Johnson found guys and then turned them into players. So that's what, and Coach Campbell will probably tell us the story in 2 o'clock hour, agreeing, because that's what you did. You didn't just draft, you didn't sign them, you developed them. Okay, so getting a high school kid and develop them is what you're supposed to do. But then also get these just add water guys, these microwave guys that come in and fix your program immediately. Those are hugely important now.
Yeah. I mean, In my day, I mean, I knew coming in. I mean, a lot of these kids now coming in, they want to play. You know, they don't want to be developed. I'm not going to say they don't want to be developed, but they want to have an impact right then and there. I knew going in at Miami. Miami was already had a litany of talent. I knew that I had to wait my turn, but when my turn came, I was ready. You know, so it's still about developing. When you get recruits coming, I don't care if you got a 4 or 5 star recruit. You got to make sure he performs like a 4 or 5 star recruit.
Yeah,
and that's the most important thing. That when you get these guys, that they live up to their potentials.
And these guys that are coming through the portal, not all of them, but a lot of them have been humbled. They've been humbled, and now they're like, okay, I better get it right, or I'm not going to have much of a chance to, go to that next level.
Well, listen, I love the portal. Only thing I don't like about the portal is if a kid is leaving because of competition. That's the only thing I don't like about the portal. If you're leaving because you don't think that you can win the job in spring, then the portal is entirely a mess. You still got to compete in this game. You absolutely have.
Well said.
But if your coach changes, if the situation, it's no longer the type of offense or defense you thought it would be.
Yeah, that matters. But I still don't like when kids just bounce because run because there's competition.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I can understand if there's a new coach and all the other kind of stuff that factors in that recruited you and you think the coaching staff is going to be there for the duration while you're there as a player and they bounce and go somewhere else. I understand that you don't like the familiarity of a new coach coming in, but the run from competition, man, I don't know.
Yeah. Well, to be fair though, they need tape. If they all want to play in the NFL, they need tape. So if you're sitting behind a guy, you're not getting tape.
Yeah, true.
At any position, much less quarterback.
But here's the thing. Another thing. The NFL is not going anywhere. I mean, I didn't think about going pro until my junior year. I just wanted to be the best Miami Hurricane I could be. And until the NFL is going to come find you, all right? But just while you're in college, develop your craft so you can live up to your highest potential. And then the NFL will find you. You ain't got to go looking for them. They'll come find you.
But you got to actually play.
You got to be a baller. You got to be a dog.
You got to get on the field is what I'm saying.
True.
Which that's where Trevor Etienne's a good example.
Oh, yeah.
Because, A, he didn't feel like he got enough playing time or got as many snaps as he probably felt like he
did not get
earned.
enough snaps.
But I'm just saying that and the combo of the results. The team is not good. And so he probably had visions and dreams of playing close to his brother and being on a good football team. So that
it's hilarious that some Florida fans are out there on social media saying, well, he couldn't block. That's the thing now, Joe. He can't pass protect.
Yeah.
So,
Well,
wow.
They don't need him anymore.
By the way, to Leon's point about, they'll find you, I mean, Jared Verse, the guy played at Albany, and he's going to be maybe the number one end rush end taken.
Right, but he also played at Florida State for the last 2 years.
I know. I'm just saying
but that's a credit to Florida State.
Nowadays, it's way easier to be found because of the portal.
I have to admit, I was wrong because when we were talking about the transfer portal with Mike Norvell originally getting Jared Verse, I'm like, oh, come on. He's out of Albany. How good can he be?
Right.
I mean, he took Jermaine Johnson from Georgia, who that's obviously a more prolific name and a prolific program. But he wasn't doing a heck of a lot up in Athens, and then he gets him into Tallahassee, and he becomes a first-round pick.
Right, and what was funny is, it may be a convenient argument, and that's probably why I piled on Jared Verse before I even knew how good of a player he could be, is that, same thing we were talking about with Leon. He can't get on the field at Georgia, so he picks up and goes somewhere else. Well, he went somewhere else and was a player, and so – looking at that opportunity, kind of putting all of our arguments together. He needed an opportunity.
Yeah, well, you go to small schools like that, Albany, you got to be a dog to get the attention of the bigger name. But I didn't know that he started at Georgia. And then he started at Georgia and then went to Albany?
No.
Different guy.
Yeah. Different guy. Okay, yeah. But like Jared Verse, I mean, but you get attention if you whatever league that Albany is in, I'm sure that he dominated Albany. And if you dominate Albany, so you're going to get the attention of bigger schools. And which he did.
Let me just say this real quick with ETN. One more thing. He averaged 13.8 touches a game this year. 13.8 touches a game.
Yeah, I get it. And look, what I had said all along about Billy Napier, which was an absolute mystery to me what they did, is that going into this year, I thought they had a chance to play some good defense, which they did early, and then they unraveled, and run the football. And I would have run Montrell and Trevor Etienne a total of 40 times because that's what they had. It was their best chance to succeed. and to get, at the very least, get a ground game going where Merch could have a chance to maybe say all the time, get the ball down the field. And they never did it to any effectiveness or frequency. Okay, how do you run the football? You keep running it, right? How do you run it to success? You keep running it. And they didn't do that. It was ridiculous the way they didn't do that. And those were their, honestly, if you say Trevor was their best player, how far down the list do you have to go before you get to Montrell?
Okay, let's just say Eugene Wilson.
Yeah.
6.7 touches a game.
Yeah.
So you have literally an average of 66, 67 plays a game.
Right.
Your two best players are getting it 20 times.
Right. And Trey Wilson got that in the first 5 minutes of the ball game.
It's unfathomable how reckless coaching that is.
Yeah.
Unfathomable. Seriously. 1/3.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Believe me, I would have fed him. Less
than 1/3.
I can fathom it.
Yeah.
So you guys
I don't even need to fathom.
You guys out there
I
can
saw
say we're ripping Billy Napier all you want. It's right there in front of you. There's empirical evidence of what's going on.
Yeah. I like I said, I didn't dream it. I saw it. It was all right. Big Sirs, you are out the door.
I am.
I don't want to send you out with the but enjoy the rest of the afternoon.
I shall.
All right, he is out the door. Coach Campo is coming up next. Beaver Chevy, Beaver Toyota, bringing you today's show, and we got to get right with this football team. They lost a Sunday night game to the Baltimore Ravens. Can they get back to winning ways against the Bucs? We'll say hello to our head coach coming up.
Buckle up. You're in the First Coast Honda Dealer Studios with XL Primetime on 1010XL. Find your new Honda at your 8 local Honda dealers. It's an epic adventure.
I don't believe you.
Would you believe 24 Delta Force commandos?
No.
Go behind enemy lines with Jags beat reporter Hayes Carline.
How about Chuck Norris with a BB gun?
Brought to you by Pella Windows and Doors on 1010XL.
If you found a $100 bill on the ground, you wouldn't walk past it, right? So why are you passing up on a chance at easy cash with MyBookie? Mia here, and MyBookie has the biggest online selection of odds and contests to fill all your sports betting needs anytime, anywhere, so you can turn that sports knowledge into cash in your wallet. Bet on the NFL, college bowl games, or play for a share of big cash prizes in the weekly blackjack tournaments. If you've been waiting for the right time to get in on the action, the holidays are here, and that time is now. Make your winning move today. Sign up at MyBookie using promo code 1010XL and claim your deposit match, redeemable up to $1,000. Again, that's promo code 1010XL to claim your bonus. Experience the thrill of sports betting right from the comfort of your home. You can bet anything, anytime, anywhere, only with MyBookie. And don't forget that promo code 1010XL.
The next time you have an orthopedic injury, call Southeast Orthopedic Specialists. That's what we do. I'm Bob Arablo, president of Your Jacksonville Icemen. We've been using them to take care of our athletes, and you can rely on them to take care of yours.
This is Dr. George Acevedo of Southeast Orthopedic Specialists. Thanks to all of the athletes who ask us to help them get back on their feet.
Relieve pain and get back to life. SOS. Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
Why can't I just speak to an actual human being? I need a new bank.
Well, actually, at One-to-One Financial, communication is not only number one, it's one-to-one. When you call, you get to talk to a real live Jacksonville human, fast and with someone who's truly concerned about your needs, your security, and finding solutions as a team.
Thank you. Ready to break up with your bank? Find a real long-term banking relationship at One-to-One Financial, Jacksonville's hometown credit union. Visit one-to-onefcu.org for more information on opening an account today.
Federally insured by NCUA.
Upgrade your home with a winning combination of style and performance with custom windows and patio doors. For a limited time, get $300 off every window and $825 off all patio doors. Plus, no money down, no payments, no interest for 1 year. Offer expires December 31st. Restrictions apply. Renewal by Anderson. Proud to be the official window and door replacement partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Visit rbafla.com. License number CGC 1527613.
Are you 18 years or older, just got married, just got divorced, or have children? Listen up. Have you done your last will and estate planning? If you have questions, call Matt Hinson with the Hinson Law Firm. Reach him at 527-1700, offices Jacksonville, Florida. And don't let the state decide your fate.
eBay Motors is here for the ride. 120,000 miles of night drives, daily commutes, and who knows how many.
Are we there yet?
Through countless fixes, elbow grease, and a new radiator, you kept your ride alive. With eBay Motors, you have over 122 million parts to keep it running. And with eBay Guaranteed Fit, they'll be the perfect fit every time. Plus, at these prices, well, we're burning rubber, not cash. Keep your ride or die alive at ebaymotors.com. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
Do you love sports? Do you also love wings? Enjoy the best wings in Jacksonville in Miramar, Mandarin, and Oakleaf at Players Grill. Watch your favorite teams and enjoy burgers, pizza, salads, and of course, wings. Players Grill, where the neighborhood meets.
Get Gators play-by-play on 1010XL. Brought to you by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. And Renewal by Anderson, the official window and door replacement partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Home of the Jacksonville Jaguars. WJXL AM Jacksonville Beach. WJXL FM Jacksonville Beach. Jacksonville's building a fence along the goal line. This is the Superior Fence and Rail Defensive Player of the Game. Superior Fence and Rail, where quality matters.
Rayshawn Jenkins was a bright spot for Jacksonville on Sunday. The 29-year-old tallied 6 tackles against the Ravens, along with 1 interception. He'd also record 1 sack. The young man soared all over the field on defense and made sure the opposition knew who was superior. Rayshawn Jenkins is your Superior Fence and Rail's defensive player of the game.
Superior Fence and Rail knows about exceptional customer service. From the first call to the final inspection, Superior's team provides first-class care with great communication, friendly installers, and quality fence products. There's a reason why Superior is the top-rated fence company in Jacksonville. So get off the fence and call Superior Fence and Rail for your new fence today.
When you're on the fence, about a fence, SuperiorFenceandRail.com.
It's J.J. Gray's Blackwater Soul Review at St. Augustine Amphitheater, May 25th and 26th. Catch live performances from artists like J.J. Gray and Mofro, Lucero, the Almond Betts Band, American Aquarium, G Love and Special Sauce, and more.
Where did they go?
Get tickets at Ticketmaster.com. May 25th and 26th, live at St. Augustine Amphitheater.
Men suffering from ED or PE, you'll see instant results on your first visit at Prime Men's Medical Center. For a limited time, your initial consultation and first treatment are totally free. You'll even get a gift that enhances performance in the bedroom. Call 904-664-8217.
This is your Southeast Orthopedic Specialist local sports update. I'm Andrew Gibson for 1010XL. This update brought to you by Awaken 180 Weight Loss. Jordan Mincy and the JU men's basketball team picked up their 8th victory of the season on Monday afternoon with a 75-65 win over Louisiana Monroe. JU is now 5-0 at home this season. The Dolphins travel to #1 Purdue on Thursday. Meanwhile, congratulations to UNF men's basketball head coach Matthew Driscoll, who earned his 250th career coaching victory on Saturday with a 113-72 win over Trinity Baptist. The Ospreys will play at Florida State tonight with tip-off at 8 o'clock on ACC Network. It's 52 degrees at 2 o'clock. Time and temp brought to you by Bueller Air Conditioning. Stay cooler with Bueller.
1010XL is presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. XL Primetime's coach Dave Campo is brought to you by Bold City Heating and Air. Online at boldcityac.com.
I love the Steppenwolf intro, some good old music, but I tell you what, they need to get it going here in Duval because they're heading down to Tampa Town, and they do need to get stepping, that's for sure. Coach Campo in the house in the 2 o'clock hour on a Beaver Chevy, Beaver Toyota Tuesday. How are you?
Well, it's past the 24-hour rule, so I'm doing okay. And, they need to go from stepping to running.
Yeah, and by the way, you're not the curse. I told you that.
Yeah.
And it's true.
Well, I told me and I had that conversation.
I texted Coach, and as I was walking down to the tunnel after the second fumble, and I said, well, Coach, it's not you. At least we confirmed that. You are free to come to Jaguar games if you are so inclined.
Now, what did I say to that? You're not going to say it on national TV, national radio.
Yeah. Right. I'm not going to say it. But Coach was like, I'm not so sure I want to be watching this product in person. But, hey, listen, I'm sure that plenty of guys in that locker room would say the same thing right now. They understand that much of their lack of success is because of those self-inflicted penalties that you would think by week 15 are cleaned up. That's what Doug Peterson preached a year ago, peaking at the right time, playing clean football. What has happened in your estimation? Because to me, it just screams one mistake happens and then it snowballs from there. And that, for me, is concerning because that's not the sign of a veteran, mature squad.
Well, and I think the same thing is going on with the coaches, to be honest with you. We run the football in the first quarter.
To success.
We were running pretty successful. And then when we have one or two bad runs, and that's the last you see of it. So to me, it's things spiral like that, there's no question when we go into these last 3 ball games, if we play clean football, we got a chance to win them all.
All right, so stay there as far as, if you are succeeding early running the football, why would you abandon it? And then when you add up the last couple of games, Coach, the number of throws, the number of dropbacks that Trevor, especially with what we might describe as a suspect offensive line, he's getting his share of hits, and the ball's going in the wrong hands.
Well, the problem is, if you're not running the ball successfully, then the play-action game doesn't, really equate to how you're going to do. But the thing that bothers me a little bit is the biggest plays they've had in the last 3 ball games have been when they've maximum protect.
Mm-hmm.
That throwback to Agnew, was on a fake the counter and whatever.
Sure.
Well, run the counter a few times and fake it, do that a few more times.
Do it again.
And get the ball down the football field. That doesn't seem to be happening. And that's where the dropbacks come in, because if you're not running the football, there's no need in trying to fool the defense. You got to try to throw the football, and it's not worked out very well.
I hate to say this, but you're starting to see a trend of sorts. You say, okay, run the counter and throw out play action. Well, that's what most of the NFL does. But if you're over here in this side of the camp where you're talking about we like to be aggressive, we like to do things differently, well, that doesn't work a lot of the times. How about doing what the rest of the league does that does work, and then maybe you'll be in position to every once in a while sprinkle that stuff in there, right?
Well, first of all, being aggressive and doing what it takes to get the ball into your players' hands is 2 different things. I mean, if I'm going to try. You asked me a question off the air about how many times should your top players touch the ball.
Right.
Well, you got to find a way to get the top players of football. If you're trying to throw to Ridley, for example, and every time is a drop back pass, well, then try something else.
Mm-hmm.
Run them across the field and do something. That's being different, but it's also trying to get the ball into the hands of the guys that can make something happen. And I don't think that's happening as well as it needs to, especially when you're playing a good football team and you're not going on all cylinders all the time.
If you've got a question for Coach, 641-1010, the number to reach us at. Be sure to also comment on YouTube, where we also are live streaming, and you can see the one, the only, head coach Dave Campo hanging out with us the rest of the way on this Beaver Toyota Tuesday. Coach, you brought up the max protect on the Agnew touchdown. Should also be noted that those first 4 running plays that the Jaguars ran to much success, 2 of the 4 also had an extra offensive lineman on the field. Clearly it worked, and so it's the same thing. If it's working, why are they going away from it?
Well, first of all, I think if that's nice that they got the extra lineman out there, but I would rather see them do what they have to do with the extra tight end in there, get the extra blocker, and I think you can run the football effectively that way too. Because
to you, they did prove. Sorry to cut you off. Like, they proved in those 4 plays they can run the ball.
Yeah, and to me, I think they give up on it way too soon.
Yeah, because I have the simple answer. They proved they could, and then they couldn't, okay?
Right.
Because you take a look at their yards per carry average over the last, and this is now becoming a 3-game total, okay? ETN, 2.5 yards per carry 2 weeks ago, two games ago, and then here we are with 17 totes, including 4 rushes from Trev for 75 yards. That is a lousy per carry yardage.
Well, first of all, you can't do that.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're going to throw the ball, what'd they throw it, 47 times or something like that?
He dropped back 43 times, 25 of 43.
But there were 47 passes,
yes.
I think, because he ran
scrambled
the ball
4 times. Yep.
3 or 4 times.
So they ran it 13 times.
Yeah, so you can't throw the ball 50 times in a football game.
And Coach,
they like being aggressive, Dave. You know that, right?
What's that?
They like being aggressive.
Yeah, well, I mean, yeah.
And Baltimore more than tripled their run production.
Yeah.
Okay, more than tripled it, almost 3.5 times their run production. And they could do at the end of the game, which is what we all know, you wear somebody down. At the end of the game, they could do what they want.
Yeah, and really some of that depends on if you get out to a lead.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
Sure.
when you have a 10-point lead, that's not a lead in the NFL. Now it gets to 17, and now all of a sudden you can run the ball all you want, and that's what they did when they scored after the half and got up 17-7. That's when they started really pouring it on.
And remember, it was a tight ball game with a tick left in the third quarter.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
They scored after that.
Yeah,
but
you can look in the first half. Okay, here was our offensive production: 2 missed field goals, a fumble, and a clock management error.
Yeah.
On defense, it was 4 drives. They had a sack by 44, got out of that drive.
Mm-hmm.
They had an interception. They had we had one bad play,
mm-hmm.
and that whole deal was when they got in the red zone and they threw that zone post for the touchdown,
right.
and the guys didn't play it right. And you talk about a trend.
That's the one
that's
that got
it.
you. Yeah.
I can tell them. I can go over there tomorrow and tell them how to play that route.
Yeah.
But and then all of a sudden, you go into the halftime down 10-0.
Mm-hmm.
You come back out and we score right away.
Yeah.
So now it's a football game.
Yeah.
And in the second half, they started running the ball a little bit more.
Yeah.
So let's get to everyone's favorite argument over the last 48 hours. I already know the answer, but you would have spiked it before the half?
Yeah.
You would have clocked it?
Well, I wouldn't have thrown in the ball in the flat.
Okay.
I would have.
Because I guess Doug Peterson's counter to that yesterday when reporters asked him about it was it's the same play that we ran against the Ravens last year that Marvin Jones got the shin in.
And they said the same thing. They said we were prepared for that because they got it. We got it last year. Cost us a game.
Yeah, that's not self-scouting,
that's
correct?
That's not common sense.
That's not self-scouting.
Yeah.
Okay, do this favor for everybody out there. You're a former head coach.
So flipping frustrating, I swear.
It's frustrating.
It's not rocket science,
okay,
man.
But just
You're
do this
coaching
for us.
football.
So just take us from the moment Zay Jones makes the catch inside the 5 as a head coach, and just imagine your OC is in your earpiece as well, and then obviously the helmet for Trevor. What is going on from the time that ball is completed?
Well, they're telling them what to do. They're on the headset.
Yeah.
Either the coach is telling them clock it, or we're going to run whatever.
Or run, right.
And that's what they did. I could see him. He was calling stuff out, running down the field to get to the goal line. When he was running down the field, I was trying to see what he was doing. He wasn't just saying clock it.
Right.
He was calling a play.
Yeah.
And so I said, okay, they got to throw the ball into the end zone. But you got 2 shots with 12 seconds left.
Exactly.
You clock the ball. You've got at least one if you don't want to fool around
you got 2.
with the second one and make a mistake. Or you got 2 plays into the end zone.
Yeah.
But you got to put the ball into the end zone. You can't, unless the guy's flat. You see some of those plays where the guy's flat wide open.
Mm-hmm.
He's got a 2-yard lead on the DB, and the
That's
guy's
fine.
going to run it in.
Yeah.
But you can't throw the ball when the DB is close to the guy on the 5-yard line or wherever they were.
Okay, so here's not all the questions we've had, but certainly one of the main questions we've had is Trevor in control at that moment where he should have just absolutely known without anyone telling him to clock it? Or was he going off of coach and situation?
I think he's going off of what the coach was telling him on the headset.
Mm-hmm.
And to be honest with you, I guarantee you, Leon says it all the time, and I agree with him 100%. You have a 2-minute drill in every practice. You also go through what your thought process is in that not the end of at least on Thursday or whatever, or Friday.
Right.
And you have you talk about what the thought process is in going into the 2-minute.
Mm-hmm.
And I guarantee you they worked that play on Friday or whenever they worked the plays.
Mm-hmm.
And he did what he practiced. Now, you listen to them talk, they'll say, well, if the guy's covered in the flat, you throw it into the end zone.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
they
made
did
a
not.
mistake.
Right.
So either way, if the quarterback was controlling everything, it should have been a clock play, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
If they're telling him to run the play, then Trevor made a mistake in throwing that ball in the flat when the guy was that close to the ball.
Not only in the flat, But to Parker Washington.
Well,
if you're going to throw the ball there, don't you throw it to Ridley?
Well, here's the deal. Somebody's got to get open. I mean,
right.
And you throw it to probably your best player. But
if he's
that
open.
play worked last year, so that's probably why he threw it out there.
Yeah.
It's just it's almost a comedy of. I'm
Errors.
going to say what
Comedy
I said
of
to
errors.
Mia. It's an S blank 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 show sometimes
yeah.
going on right now.
Yeah, and so that's where you're at. So you guys let us know what you think, 641-1010. You can hit the text line. Let's do that real quick, and then we'll stay on your Jags.
That just happened. Brought to you by Florida Home AC, the official air conditioning partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Since I know some of our Georgia fans out there on the text line were quick to note that maybe we jumped the gun and so did Sports Illustrated on the report. Well, now it is official. London Humphreys, Vanderbilt's second leading receiver this season as a freshman, has announced publicly that he will be transferring to the University of Georgia with 3 years of eligibility left.
How about Clark Lee and the job he's doing? He's sending good lads off to Alabama and Athens. Isn't that the way it should be?
The other receiver, Will Shepard's out, too. He's gone.
Yeah.
They lost all three of their quarterbacks. Their three best receivers, their best defensive player.
But Nate Johnson on his way to Vanderbilt and America's team.
That's going to be, honestly, that may be the worst Vanderbilt team in a long time, and that's saying a lot.
I'm just saying the fact that Athens and Tuscaloosa is going to Vanderbilt to plug players. Okay, that is the main thing that sticks out to me. We'll get back to your Jags. It's XL Primetime.
Cruising with XL Primetime in the First Coast Honda Dealer Studios on 1010XL. Your home for Florida Gators basketball is 1010XL.
It's Florida and Michigan from Charlotte. Gators Wolverines. Tonight at 6:30 on 1010 AM.
Save big at Key Buick GMC, up to $9,000 off on all new 23 Buick Enclaves, or up to $8,500 off new 23 Buick Envisions. Low APR rates like 1.9% APR financing for 36 months, 4.5% for 48 or 60 months, and 5.44% APR for up to 72 months. It comes with a lifetime powertrain warranty whenever you purchase a new vehicle from Key Buick GMC, across the street from Tinseltown, Southside.
Hey, it's Matt Hayes, and I had one of those aha moments last week. During my Awaken 180 weekly weigh-in, I'd only lost 2.5 pounds. And my coach, Krista, reviewed my week and pointed out that I'd skipped a few meals. Turns out, skipping meals was actually slowing down my weight loss, not speeding it up. Who would have thought? And get this, she also advised me eating more fats, the good stuff like butter and oil, to get me back to losing the 4 to 5 pounds per week. Now here I am, closing in on 30 pounds lost with Awaken 180 weight loss. It's these kinds of things and insights you just don't get when you're flying solo. That's the beauty of Awaken 180. The coaches aren't just cheerleaders. They're like your personal weight loss strategists, making sure you stay the course and reach your goals. It's not just about shedding pounds. It's about learning the how so you keep it off for life. Get your consultation on the calendar this month and get ready to start the new year with a proven plan. Reserve it online at awaken180weightloss.com.
Mia here, and I love a good spa day. Don't you? The Sawgrass Marriott Golf Resort and Spa is the perfect place for indulging in a pampering spa treatment. This holiday season, those who want to give the gift of wellness can purchase a gift card and take advantage of the spa's current promotion. Purchase a $75 gift card or more, and guests will receive a voucher towards a future service. With healing massages, revitalizing facial treatments, and more, a day at the Sawgrass Spa makes the perfect gift. Purchase in person at Sawgrass Spa during operating hours.
Stop stealing joy from loved ones by missing out on making memories because of your joint pain. PRPrelief.com has the answer. A local clinic with natural regenerative treatments. Go to PRPrelief.com today for your joint pain.
There's something special about Napa Auto Care Centers. They're backed by the national power of Napa and a 24-month, 24,000-mile nationwide warranty. But more importantly, your Napa Auto Care Center is locally owned and operated by a strict written code of ethics. Put your vehicle in the hands of ASC-certified technicians you can trust. Find us at jacksnapaautocare.com. David Garrard Mondays on Jaguars Today are brought to you by Gasson's Northside Automotive and Smart Tire.
Get fishing tips and stories from Captain Kevin.
Bite's gonna pick up pretty soon.
On the Ring Power Fishing Forecast Show. Brought to you by Awaken 180 Weight Loss.
Whoa!
Thursday nights at 6.
On 1010XL AM.
Looking for the perfect perfect stocking stuffer? How about the Blue Crab Crab House? Right now, buy a $50 gift card, you get $15 free. $50 gives you an additional $15. Also sign up. The private dining room is available for you. Call them 260-CRAB for all the details. Tuesday through Saturday, 4:30 to 9, Sunday noon to 9, only at the Blue Crab Crab House right off of San Jose, Jointon Creek Road.
Hey, it's Angela and Brian Wall. How many companies do you know in this day and age that actually want their potential customers to call their competition and get quotes from them?
That's what WonderWorld wants you to do. WonderWorld knows there are other window companies out there, but we also know those other guys. When compared to WonderWorld, they can't offer you the quality at the price that WonderWorld can.
And with Window World, you get the absolute best guarantee there is in the window replacement business.
If anything goes wrong with your new Window World windows, 5 years from now, 10, 15, 50, Window World and I will be there to fix it for you. You get peace of mind with Window World, and to top it off, Window World windows increase the value of your home. So look what you get with Window World. Quality windows, low price, the best guarantee in the business, energy savings, and an increase in the value of your home. A win-win for you.
Call Window World today and get your free in-home estimate or see them online at windowworldneflorida.com.
Window World. Simply the best for less. Thank you for your business.
Window World also offers energy-efficient doors.
If your lawn is not as green as you'd like, it's time to go orange by calling Orange Environmental Services, Jacksonville's highest quality pest control for over 45 years. Frank Frangie here. I've trusted Orange Environmental to take care of our home's pest control needs for years. With the Orange Shield Protection Plan for your home or office, you can relax knowing Orange Environmental will handle pest control, termite control, and mosquito control. Orange Environmental has been giving Northeast Florida peace of mind from bug problems since 1972. Call them today at 272-3284.
Toilet or shower not draining? Water bill high? So many issues you want to cry? Call Mr. Rooter of Jacksonville. Have your number 2 business serviced by your number 1 plumber. Let us do your dirty work. Call us today.
Mr. Rooter, Mr. Rooter.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville.
The stars are brightly shining.
This is XL Primetime, brought to you by Florida Home AC. Now that's cool on 1010XL.
Are you going to sing, Dave?
Can I talk?
Yeah. Your microphone is now
listen,
on.
JJ is trying to calm us down with that song. Putting a little
Look, don't bring us into
positiveness
your
into
nightmare.
this
He's trying to calm you
conversation.
down is what he's trying to do. We need the prayer hands right now, okay?
Exactly.
This is another reason why you watch XL Primetime on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, wherever you
Pray
would
over
prefer.
this team,
Because
okay?
Coach Campo was livid during the break as he broke down the Jaguars lost to the Ravens to us off the air.
His thing
and,
was
and the Josh Groban started while he was still ranting. And
his
raving.
thing, instead of saying "Oh Holy Night," his was "Oh Holy."
Yeah,
something.
Bleep.
exactly.
S
Holy
blank, blank,
bleep.
blank, blank.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes. In the words of Channing Crowder, S blank, 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 bleep. Yes.
Okay, you're not hearing that. That's me on this conversation.
Yes,
right?
God and
probably not
Jesus
happy
aren't
to-
hearing you either, Coach.
She's
You're in the
probably
clear.
not happy
But I think pretty apropos, just as you were ranting and raving to us, we get a text from 485 who says, Coach, do you think Press Taylor has any fault in this whole thing as you're lamenting about the offensive operation?
Taylor.
What, can you play that again, JJ?
Depressed Taylor.
Oh, Depressed Taylor. Thank you.
Depressed Taylor.
Yes, there it is. Do you think, with the clunkiness of everything in the operation, is this solely execution or lack thereof, or is it the entire scheme?
Well, I think part of it is that it seems to me, and again, you know, I don't think I've been this critical in a lot of situations. The thing that looks like to me, and it's strictly an opinion, is that we get talked out of stuff. We look at our offensive line and we say, okay, they can't do this or they can't do that, so we have to do this. Yeah. Instead of just going into a ball game and saying, look, this is who we are. This is what we have to do. And it looks to me like we're not doing that.
Okay, so based on what you said, this kind of jumped out at me a little bit. You said you went through the sequence on offense, and you mentioned max protect was when they scored. Other than that, you can hit the other ones. So, simple question, and this might even fall under the KISS keep it simple, stupid. Why wouldn't you max protect more often and do what you do to success?
And I agree with that. I think that's got to be there. If they're worried about the offensive line, you can't drop back. How many times?
Yeah,
47.
47.
Whatever the number
51
of
and
dropbacks.
47, yeah.
Yeah, you can't do that. I mean, if you're concerned about that, and yet you're getting your big plays off the deep crossing routes, off of maximum protection, or somebody, on a wheel route getting open, which takes time.
Yeah.
Okay, if that's what you have to try to do.
So if I'm hearing you correctly, and let me know if I'm not, might have a coaching problem here.
Yeah, I mean,
you just took him a place he does not want to go.
I know you don't want to go there. I know you don't want to go there. But the reality is those are decisions that are made by the guy who's running the team, by the guy who's calling the offensive plays.
Who hired the offense coordinator
right,
who's allegedly calling the plays.
Right. So, I mean, it's
his product.
I guess my whole point is at the end of this season when they go from 8-3 to, let's hope, winning the division. If they don't, if it's a complete collapse, everything's got to be self-avowed, correct? I mean, You've got to sit down and say, wait a second, we were here, and then we were there.
Right.
What in the hell happened, right?
Yeah. And some of it is, you lose a couple guys, and then all of a sudden you change your thought process of what can we do, what we can't do. I mean, all of those things all come into it, and that's coaching. But
that can't be a crutch, right? Injuries cannot be a crutch, can they?
No, but I mean, it
real.
does affect the
Sure it
decision
does.
making.
Sure it does.
You know what I mean?
Yes, but other teams are winning with injured players.
Yeah, exactly. Well, look at the backup quarterbacks. I'm
Right.
hoping that Bethard, if he plays this week, wins one for us because I can name about 7 of them that are playing.
So I'll give you a play caller, play caller, but also has head coach responsibility. Zach Taylor is a perfect example here. Zach Taylor lost Joe Burrow, a number 1 overall pick, and went to Buster Browning, as I'm calling him. And now this team here is on a 3-game L streak. That team's on a 3-game dub streak. And Jake Browning, with Zach Taylor calling those plays, has willed them to wins, okay? They've done it once on the road and twice at home. Does that sound
I think
right?
it's twice on the road and once at home.
Yeah, twice on the road and once at home. And so that's Zach calling plays versus Press calling plays.
Yeah, and let me say this, rather than talking about any one person, in when you look at this football team, when you make a lot of mistakes, either you got guys that aren't focused, which is your responsibility as a head coach, as any coach, position coach.
Sure.
It's your guys, right?
Yep.
Or you're doing too much stuff or too much different stuff. Okay, so that's, to me, when you said the KISS principle, whoever said it.
Keep it simple, stupid. Yeah.
The KISS principle, somewhere along the line, you got to go back to the KISS principle.
Yeah.
In the last week's game, the defense, who's played really well, busts 3 coverages.
Yeah.
Well, you can talk about its communication and this and that, but if you got to communicate so much where you don't know who you're covering, that's a coaching error. So it's everybody at this point right now. It's not just the coaches. It's not just the players. It's everybody at this point.
Big picture, though, you said you don't have as many critiques for the defense this past weekend.
No. I mean, I can go
and therefore, in the grand scheme of things, minus the last 2 games, you probably really don't have that much of a critique for them negatively for the whole course of the 2023 season.
Right. And to be honest with you, they have gone beyond the expectations. The offense has not met the expected.
And we all know that.
Don't get rid of the A-Court idea.
We all know that Dave is a defensive guy. But last week on this show and on the Campo and Joe podcast, because I really remember it there, where you said, look, they gave up all those points to Flacco, but they really did not. Again, they had 3 busts.
Yeah.
Is that right?
Yeah. That's otherwise, but it still comes down to, I say it 100 times, it's 5 plays in a game.
Yeah.
If you make them, you win. If they make them, they win.
Right.
And that's what it is. If you bust 3 coverages, that's 3 of the 5.
Yeah.
You're in trouble. On offense, if you get an offside penalty when you're on the 3-yard line. It goes back to the 10 or whatever, the 8.
Yeah.
I'm not too good math. But if it goes back, that's one of the plays that might make the difference. If you don't clock the ball and take a shot to throw into the end zone,
right,
and you run out of time, that's one of those 5 plays.
You better believe it. It could be 10-7, 10-3.
And let me tell you something. In this league, 8 teams that are favored win, 8 teams that are not favored win in a deal. You better make those 5 plays or else you're going to lose a football game, no matter who you are, unless you're just exceptional, like maybe the San Francisco 49ers are.
And even then, they lost 3 straight games.
Absolutely.
Earlier this year.
Because they lost a few guys that were top guys. But, that's true.
So we know Trevor Lawrence is in the concussion protocol. No word exactly on his status for Sunday. We know Zay Jones suffered another injury, considered day-to-day with the hamstring injury he suffered against the Ravens. If he can't go, Coach, I mean, you're looking at a wide receiver lineup of Calvin Ridley, Parker Washington, Tim Jones, Elijah Cooks. You're probably going to have to call somebody up in the practice squad. The hope is you would get Bretton Strange back so you'd have your 3 healthy tight ends. I mean, yes, it's technically then that you're only missing Christian Kirk and Zay Jones, but it feels like a whole lot more.
Yeah, I mean, some of the younger guys are going to have to come through. I mean, Cooks, Jones, those guys have got to come through.
Forget about old Josh Peterson.
Well, yeah.
Well, no, the thing is, he's out of practice squad elevation,
Yeah.
so they would have to sign him to the active roster.
Because they moved Nathan Rourke and they signed another one. Welcome back to the EJ era. I think he's back. But just to your point real quick, Coach, 5 teams, including last night, 5 teams had the game-winning score in the final 2 minutes of regulation or overtime, okay? And those include the likes of Carolina, Cincinnati, Cleveland, Houston, and Seattle last night. That's it. Yeah. You got to figure out how to make plays to win.
I'll tell you, when you look at this football team right now, the team they're playing this weekend, Tampa Bay Bucks, they're the same team.
Mm-hmm.
Although they're playing at a better level.
Yeah, the Bucks are ascending
because
right
they're
now.
ascending.
Descending, right?
We're descending. But it's 2 at this point right now. You would have to say, if you're going to be completely honest, with the way we are playing right now, we're a middle of the pack NFL football team.
Yeah,
and that's what they are.
Yeah, and right now Baker, another former number 1 pick, playing better than maybe expected.
Absolutely.
And this former number 1 pick, maybe not playing as good as expected.
That's what we're looking at right now. So we better make the 5 plays in this next ball game, or else it's going to be another ugly weekend.
To your point, Coach Campo, after not debuting on many sports books yesterday, the Jags-Bucks game is officially up on the board at MyBookie, and it is a pick-em to begin the week, which I feel like kind of makes sense given where both these teams currently stand.
I think what I just said is what it is. I would give the edge. I would have given us a +1 the way it started. Because
I saw
they're playing
minus,
better than we are, and they're at home.
But it may be headed there because I saw a -1 earlier, and now if me is saying it's a pick, then it may be going in that
So
direction.
the thing that disturbs me, Dave, and I feel like I have to say this again every time, I think he's going to be a great player. The thing that disturbs me,
I don't think he's going to get fired.
Even with injuries, right? Napier, same thing. Even with injuries, the elite quarterbacks raise the level of other guys around them. So if you got backup receivers around there, those guys play better because the elite quarterback is helping them with throws that are there, throws that are on time, throws that are thrown with anticipation, right? This is what I think the difference between this year and last year with Trevor Lawrence. Trevor Lawrence had a bad game last year. You were like, he's going to bounce back. Now I'm not sure he's bouncing back. And you could say, well, it's because the line's a mess and the receiver, whatever. The good quarterbacks do the things that make other guys better, right?
Yeah, I mean, he's struggling. I mean, he didn't, even though his statistics were okay in this ball game, he didn't have a really good ball game. I mean, and it's been a few of those, So I think you're right.
Do you tell that to your quarterback if you're a head coach?
Well, I think the position coaches are doing it. I think the position coaches.
So you think Mike McCoy's saying?
Oh yeah,
you got to play better.
You got to play, and if we're going to win, this is a quarterback-driven offense.
Yeah.
We don't have the ability to be we're going to pound them, and I still believe you have to be balanced, but it's a how he plays.
And they've told us they want to be balanced.
Yeah.
So I don't know what's happening.
Well, I think some of it is when the score changes and stuff like that, you get spooked out of stuff. but you can't.
One score game, though, heading into the fourth quarter. That's not the game getting away from you. Let's stay on this topic and a whole lot more. We will preview as well the Jags and the Bucks a little bit, too. You are listening to XL Primetime on a Beaver Toyota Beaver Chevy Tuesday.
You're riding in the First Coast Honda Dealer Studios. XL Primetime on 1010XL. He's not a defense attorney. He is the defensive player of the game.
Let's go get it, pick and score.
After the game, catch the superior fence and rail defensive player of the game.
Let's tighten that field and let's go.
On 1010XL.
Boost Mobile is giving families the holiday gift they really want. $1,000. That's what you could win with Boost Mobile's 12 days of Boostmas. That's right. Boost Mobile is giving away $1,000 a day. And to enter for your chance to win, all you have to do is stop by your local Boost Mobile store. You can enter anytime before December 23rd. But why wait? Head over to your local Boost Mobile store today for your chance to win $1,000 from Boost to you and yours. Sweepstakes ends 12/24/23. No purchase necessary. Void where prohibited by law. Visit winwithboostmobile.com/boostmas for details.
Now, the Tire Outlet Drive of the Game. Tire Outlet, wholesale prices, premium service.
When the Jags need a bit of swag on the offensive side of the ball, you can rest assured that Trevor Lawrence will always have the keys to an impressive drive. The young phenom led Jacksonville on a 5-play, 88-yard drive, capped off by Jamal Agnew's 65-yard touchdown, making the score 10-7 with 7:15 left in the period. The 2-minute, 59-second drive is your Tire Outlet Drive of the Game.
Is your vehicle in need of some TLC? Bring it to the experts at Tire Outlet. With over 40 years of experience and 15 locations across Florida, Tire Outlet is the brand you can trust. Our certified technicians do the job right to get you in and out in no time flat. Hurry in for great deals on tires and automotive service. We offer free tire rotations, free brake inspections, rebate offers on brand name tires, and a legendary price match guarantee on every set of brand new tires. Tire Outlet, wholesale prices, premium service.
A sale so big, Santa wants to get in on it. It's Beard's Diamonds' incredible Christmas sale with 43% off.
Pendants, bracelets, earrings, engagement rings.
Nobody beats Beard's Diamonds prices.
At the St. John's Town Center or at beardsdiamonds.com.
Yo, this is Tony from Tony D's. Are you looking for a great slice of pizza? Well, we have about 12 varieties. Most places won't have slices of pizza after lunch. At Tony D's, you can get a slice all day. It's always fresh at Tony D's Pizza. Bay Meadows and 295.
This Date in Sports History is brought to you by Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
On December 19, 1989, Celtics' Larry Bird begins his NBA free throw streak of 71 straight games, just barely short of Calvin Murphy's record of 78.
David here with Royal Pest Services. Here's a special message from our president.
Thanks, David. This is Jordan Harrington, president of Royal Pest Services. We'd like to thank everyone who has trusted Royal Pest for their pest control needs this year. Wishing all a very Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year from the Royal Pest family.
Hidden Hills Golf Club has been family-owned and managed for over 20 years. And we'd like to take a moment to wish all of our golfing friends a very Merry Christmas and a happy and healthy 2024. Hidden Hills Golf Club, Monument Road, Jacksonville.
W's and L's are what it's all about in football season, and you know you want to be a winner. Well, don't forget about calling Florida Home AC at 777-4300 before all your friends come over and that AC or heating unit conks out. You'll have that L on your forehead, and that sticks. Make sure your AC can handle the heat, and invite the gang over for a win. Florida Home AC, the official AC partner of the Jaguars, with prompt and quick service to make sure you stay cool in the heat and warm in the winter.
Need protection? Call Craig and Christine Kaprosky at Goosehead Insurance. The Kaproskys are a husband-wife team committed to finding you the right coverage at the right price in just a few short minutes. For home, auto, flood, or specialty insurance, Craig and Christine Kaprosky are the answer. Craig.Kaprosky at Goosehead.com.
The time to buy an emergency generator is before you need it, not when you're sitting in the dark. Storms happen in a hurry in Florida, so be prepared. Protect your family and property with American Electrical Contracting. Call them today, 737-7770.
You may never need to walk through our door, but if you do, you may need more than just advice. You're hurt and scared, but I want you to know that you can talk to us about anything. We will get to know you so that we can tell your story together. We will stand with you every step of the way as your attorneys, and we will always have your back, no matter what. Farah and Farah, protecting you and your family. Call us at 396-5555, Jacksonville.
Living on Amelia Island? Having fun in Fernandina Beach? No matter what brings you to the fun, cozy town, make sure you check out the tap room at Mokama Beer Company. With a full flight of craft creations, from the Cosmico IPA to the Motor, the perfect Pilsners and lagers, matching memories and some Mokama magic is what it's all about. Mokama Beer Company in Fernandina Beach, near the big water where the sun is born. And look for more Mokama craft at your local Total Wine or ABC Liquors.
The 12 Days of Christmas is back and better than ever at Best Bet Jacksonville. From December 12th to the 23rd, we're lining up the tables with the much-anticipated 12 Days of Christmas High Hands and giving away over $275,000 in cash. The excitement grows each day, starting at $1,200 and climbing up to $2,300, and the chance to set sail on a World Poker Tour cruise. Don't miss out on the action. Explore all our December promotions at bestbetjacks.com. That's bestbetjacks.com, your destination for the best poker action this holiday season.
I-9 Sports. Kids all over the First Coast can enjoy growing up on a field or in a gym. Right now, winter and spring registration is open, so make sure you find out what I-9 Sports offers in your area. Duval, Clay, and St. John's. i9sports.com. Enter 1010 in the promo code for a discount.
This is Dr. Steve Crenshaw, Assistant Team Physician for your Jacksonville Jaguars. Here's the latest update on the Jaguars, brought to you by Baptist Health and JOI.
Jamal Agnew returned with a bang on Sunday night, catching a 65-yard touchdown pass from Trevor Lawrence.
I mean, we're always going out trying to attack different coverages. That specific play, when I scored, we knew if the corner grabbed rib, then I was going to be wide open. So, I mean, hats off to the coaching staff for drawing that up. I mean, it worked out just how it did. I mean, we just want to win now.
Agnew had missed the previous 4 games with a shoulder injury, and his return to the Jaguars lineup made an instant impact with a 65-yard touchdown. You can watch the full post-game video with Jamal Agnew on our 1010XL YouTube page. The Jags are back on the practice field tomorrow. I'm Andrew Gibson with your Jacksonville Orthopedic Institute Jaguars update.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville.
I would say he's still growing. You'll see him make some really special throws. But to me, he still misses a few too many of those layups one way or another.
I think he does an excellent job of getting the ball out. There are times still where he locks in on a guy and tries to make something happen that's not quite there. But that would be the biggest thing that I would say. I don't really see a lot of holes in his game.
Some of the easy misses, there's 2 of them a game. I go, that's a weird miss from you. You sailed that one or whatnot. Or you missed the coverage on that one.
This is XL Primetime, protected by Preferred Roofing on 1010XL.
So I wanted to play those because those were 3 guys that know the game, played the game, and they were talking about Trevor Lawrence. In order, that was Hall of Famer Kurt Warner, Hall of Famer Troy Aikman, and you can call him a Hall of Fame analyst, Dan Orlovsky, because he's getting all the love these days on ESPN. But they were all talking about Trevor Lawrence, and it was – yeah, he's about to turn that corner, or those are those odd moments that he has. So, Coach, I mean, that was the Monday Night Football preview show that we did when this team had a shot at the number 1 seed, and now it's 3 losses later.
Yeah, unfortunately in this game, sometimes it spirals one way or another. Either goes you win 3 or 4 in a row, or you lose 3 or 4 in a row. That's the way the league is. You got to prepare every week, and you got to be right all the time. And my hope is, obviously, that you don't very seldom see a good football team, which I think we have good players, and we should be a good football team. Very seldom do you see them lose 4 in a row.
Right.
So that's my hope, is that they've got a chance, but they have to get it right now. And I think we play better when we have to do something, when we're going from being ahead of everything else.
So now we turn the page. You said 24-hour rule is over when you walked in. Doug Peterson said yesterday that part of his job, the coaching staff's job at this juncture, is to also identify the good. How would you approach this work week if you're Doug Peterson?
I think you have to do it that way. I mean, in no way, you said it earlier, Mia, that this game did not get away from them until the very end. Okay? So it's one of those things where you can point to a lot of positive things too. Right now, we're hitting all the negative because that's what cost us the football game. But in reality, there were good things. I mean, they moved the ball at certain times. They just shot themselves in the foot. We got to eliminate those, and it's time to do that now. So that would have been my approach. We still got everything ahead of us. We're in first place. We've got 3 games that we've got to take care of, but the only one we should be worried about is the one we're playing this week, and we've got to right the ship right now.
So I don't want to usurp your Friday show when you're going to break down the game, but you've got a quarterback who, yes, he played a perfect game as far as rating-wise in Baker Mayfield, but Baker's been known to give up the ball every now and then. Not only interceptions, but fumbles as well. I mean, this is going to be – you talked about the defense, how you think the defense is playing well, and they haven't been a problem all year. This has got to – they've got to set the tone in this game.
Absolutely. And Baker Mayfield, you can say whatever you want. You know, the guy is up, down, but right now, according to Todd Bowles, he's doing everything right. Toughness, mental, talent. He's doing it all. Well, he hasn't been able to do that on a consistent basis. So I'm hopeful that we can rattle him a little bit, and he's kind of a riverboat gambler, and he'll turn the ball over if you give him an opportunity.
Yeah, I expected a lot more of that from him instead of a 158.3 passer rating up in Lambeau this past week. And by the way, he does have some dudes he's throwing the football to.
Well, yeah, Godwin and Evans. Come on now.
And by the way, Rachaad White, third-round pick.
Running it pretty good.
Doing work down
and
there.
Catching it.
Yeah.
Doing both.
Exactly. All right, Coach, we're going to fire up a Campo and Joe podcast, so we'll be Facebook Live with you, and we got our takeaways coming up as we welcome in the Francis Show in just a few.
The First Coast Honda Dealer Studios on 1010XL.
Everyone agrees that playing quarterback is the hardest thing to do in sports, yet it's the one thing that everyone says they could do.
Denny Thompson is the Quarterback Whisperer. Friday mornings on The Drill. Brought to you by Tyson Sound and Security.
Register Sausage.
And George Moore Chevrolet.
Mia here for my friends at Duck Duck Rooter. If your grandma, Cousin Sue, and Uncle Earl are all coming to town and staying with you this holiday season, chances are you'll have more showers, more toilet flushes, and more laundry loads than normal. This extra strain on the plumbing system could be the proverbial last straw that breaks a camel's back. Don't wait for Uncle Earl to back up your plumbing and call Duck Duck Rooter today. 904-862-6769. They will schedule a plumber to come out today. That's 904-862-6769.
Picture walking through your home and feeling the natural elegance that only hardwood can provide. I'm Shane with Renew Solutions, and for replacing or refinishing wood floors, I've got you covered. Visit renewjacksfloors.com.
Men, suffering from erectile dysfunction or PE? Frustrated taking pills that don't work? Here's a message from Prime Men's Medical Center.
I'm Dr. Simovitz. Prime Men's Medical Center offers breakthrough treatments with men lasting longer than ever without pain or surgery.
Call now. Your consultation and first treatment are free. You'll see instant results right in the office. Call Prime Men's Medical Center now. 904-664-8217. That's 904-664-8217.
Frank Franzi here for Stanley Pools. There's a reason so many of my friends and our listeners have had Stanley Pools build their pools and now maintain their pools, because Stanley Pools truly cares about their customers. Stanley Pools is locally owned and has been serving our community for 35 years. For all of your pool needs, call Stanley Pools at 269-7277. That's Stanley Pools, a family tradition of fine swimming pools. 269-7277, or find them online at stanleypoolsfl.com.
Are you about ready to deck the halls for the holidays, but your home is cluttered with unwanted junk? Don't let the mess dampen your holiday spirit. Call J-Dog Junk Removal. And it's not just about cleaning up your space, it's about making a positive impact. You deserve a clutter-free home to celebrate in style. They're on a mission to make your holidays brighter and your home junk-free. Call now at 844-GET-JDOG or enter your zip code at jdog.com. J-Dog Junk Removal. Veteran-owned, veteran-operated.
1010XL celebrates athletic and academic greatness.
Listen for the High School Scholar Athlete Wednesdays on The Franchi Show.
Brought to you by Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
And the Plumbers and Pipe Fitters Local Union 234 on 1010XL.
Brian Wall here with Window World. You know that awesome feeling when you finally find that one place to go to that will give you a top quality product at a great price and then stand behind what they sell you? That's exactly what Window World does. Top quality, energy-efficient windows at a great price that keeps more of your money in your bank account. With the absolute best guarantee in the window replacement business. That's why Window World has been the #1 window replacement company in the USA for years, selling more than 1 million windows each year for the past 8 years. That's a lot of satisfied customers, and you can be one too. Save money on installing new energy-efficient windows and save on your energy bills too. You can't lose. And if anything goes wrong with your new Window World windows ever, Window World and I will be there to make it right. Call Window World today or see them online and have them come and give you a free estimate and see why we are so proud of our products and the work we do for our customers. Call Window World or go online at windowworldneflorida.com. And thank you for your business.
Window World also offers energy-efficient doors and siding.
Hi, everybody. Mike Dempsey here. Forget New Year's resolutions. Make this year a revolution by discovering what it feels like to succeed at losing weight with Awaken 180. Not another failed New Year's attempt. Succeed with the solution for weight loss at awaken180weightloss.com.
I'm Clayton Bromberg, the president of Underwoods. Every year we have gentlemen come in with the same problem. They just don't know what to buy their wife for Christmas. Well, one thing we can start off telling them is they've come to the right place because at Underwoods it's been our business since 1928 to keep in our stores what ladies want to own. We have a professional credentialed staff that'll treat you the way you expect to be treated, and they can really help solve your problem. We have North Florida's finest collection of diamond jewelry, an extensive collection of pearls. You might be interested in seeing some of the hot new designer jewelry pieces from names like David Yurman, John Hardy, or Roberto Coin. If it's a watch you want, we carry Rolex and other watches that are considered the best. And the one thing you'll love and she'll recognize is the hand-wrapped silver package with a satin ribbon our gifts come in. So make this a Christmas to remember at Underwoods in San Marco, Avondale, or the shops of Ponte Vedra.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. Now, the 2-minute drill. Brought to you by Tire Outlet. Tire Outlet is now hiring. Visit TireOutlet.com/careers. Equal opportunity employer.
Francis Show getting ready to crack. Lauren Brooks in, ready to go. What's going on?
That's right. Yeah, it's the holiday season. I see the peanut and M&Ms out.
Yeah, TLD brought him in for the XLP gang.
She said y'all need protein.
Yeah, I do. Listen, I'm a peanut M&M guy. I'm not straight M&Ms. I can't do it.
Yeah.
Won't do it. And by the way,
won't.
Yeah.
Won't do it.
And we made sure that Matt is going to take his M&Ms to his daughters because he's, Awaken 180.
Yes.
Yeah.
How much weight have you lost now, Matt?
I close it in on 30 pounds.
If you guys want to see something funny, go watch the 1010XL Jaguars prediction video.
Yeah. And so.
Oh, and contrasting
that would
comparisons
air in
to
May.
Yeah.
What did Leon call me?
Yeah.
Fat?
No, other than that.
Yeah.
No, he had something. He
Like
said you were
Curly
slim.
or something,
yeah.
right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh, you said you looked like Curly from the Three Stooges.
Right,
Yeah, there you go.
That's amazing. 30. You haven't been doing it that long.
No, he's lost like 50 total, I think.
Yeah,
He looks
and-
great.
And
He's being bashful.
straight discipline, which is good.
Hey, I mean, especially this time of year, you need that discipline.
Exactly.
It's hard.
All right, what's coming up with discipline?
Sure. Denny Thompson has all the discipline.
Uh-huh.
So he's coming up at 5 o'clock, and of course, we'll continue talking Jaguars like
Yeah.
y'all have. And
Speaking of former fat guys.
Yeah. Denny too.
Denny was
lost
fat?
Denny
so-
fluctuates
yeah.
like there's no
Oh
tomorrow.
my God, yes.
Yeah.
Denny's-
Really? I
Oh,
guess
yeah.
I never knew
Part
that,
of that
Denny.
was
He's in a walking Ozempic pen right now.
Part of that was he had the liver. So he had some sort of like medical issue with him last year. But yeah. So.
he looks
You also had the stress of dealing with Carson Beck, Willie Roney. Too.
And Anthony Richardson. And
Yeah. I feel like people who don't fluctuate, like there are people that work in this building and they don't fluctuate at all. And I'm so jealous.
Yeah. Well, I figured out one time if we added, and Dempsey admits this, he says, I've lost it, I've gained it, I've lost it, I gained it.
Right.
And then Lamb, back in the day, lost, like, total those two up, about a ton. About a ton.
I mean, it's hard to keep it off.
Yeah,
So
it really
good
is.
luck to everybody once you lose the weight and doing just that.
Exactly. All right, we'll be listening to Lauren.
All right,
Thank you.
thanks so much.
All right, so the Francis Show is coming up next, but first.
Now, today's takeaways, brought to you by Key Buick GMC, where our family dealership has been helping families buy vehicles for over 50 years.
My takeaway is tomorrow's National Signing Day.
Mm-hmm.
Could be either really, really pleasant one Your Florida Gators are devastating.
I think he might be saying National No Signing Day is what it could be. Coach?
Well, I listened to Evan Ingram on the interview say that this season is not slipping away from us, that we know what we have to do, and I'm counting on that this weekend.
Mm-hmm.
Well said, Coach. My takeaway is that there have been 26 of 32 opponents for the Iowa women's basketball team that have set attendance records this year. So that is mind-boggling in one season that 26 athletic programs have sold out because of Caitlin Clark. I don't know if we've ever seen that in college sports.
That's impressive. My takeaway is I think National Signing Day is the only thing that still uses the word facts in a sentence. And I guarantee you in Gainesville, they're going to walk behind the fax machine and they're going to check that plug about 100 times.
My only question
is this
for
thing
you,
plugged
Joe,
in?
is that
Are you sure it's plugged in?
Will it be a 4-year decision or a 40-year decision, or is this solely a 1-year decision for most of those signing on the dotted line tomorrow?
All right, we will find out. All right, Coach, you and I are going to do a Campo and Joe podcast.
You bet.
So looking forward to that. We are done. We say thanks to Beaver Chevy, Beaver Toyota. They are there to wow you, and they're really never done with the service or the sale or making sure that you're satisfied. That's the name of the game in the automotive business, and it's a purchase and all that comes with it. So check it out, beaverchevrolet.com for their great lineup of vehicles, SUVs, trucks, and sedans, and beavertoyotastAugustine.com with new digs coming soon right there at 207 and 995. We are out. Joe C., Mia O'Brien, Matty Hayes, Big Surge, Coach, and JJ.
Buckle up. You're in the First Coast Honda Dealer Studios with XL